Welcome to the Chris Sweet Beveree Stadium. Tonight we will be bringing you live coverage, totally free live coverage of Hampton and Richmond Borough versus Eastbourne Borough in what some people are calling the Borough Derby. I'm going to have a chat with Jack Labar in a minute, chairman of Hampton and Richmond Borough FC, to talk to him about a very busy few days. We've had the FA Cup draw, we've had the departure of one of our better players for sure. And but before that, let's have a quick word from our sponsors, Mundial and FOTMob.
We tell stories that matter.
You're listening to
We know what makes fans tick.
The whole team is supported by the whole town.
We know it's about dedication, about history, about community. Here, there, and everywhere.
It's going down.
Sometimes it's about boots. Sometimes it's about clothes. Sometimes it's just about getting away. We know what they watch. We know where they go. We know what they love. We know it's not always easy connecting with fans, but we know how to help. And we know because that's what we are. Fans.
Brilliant. Well, welcome here. I've got, as I said to you just then, I've got Jack Labar, the chairman here from Hampton and Richmond Borough. It's obviously been a busy few days for Hampton and Richmond Borough and Jack's. Jack's, firstly, Ryan Hill, the departure of Ryan Hill. Obviously, one of our, if people that don't know, Ryan Hill was one of our better players, and he was on a contract. He had a release clause, and it's been activated. But yeah, Jack's, your first thoughts on Ryan Hill?
Yeah, it's obviously not an ideal situation to lose one of your better players, I would say, from an attacking perspective. You know, Ryan's been in super form during pre-season. Last season, his game come on leaps and bounds, and there's no doubt he was a big part of our attacking threat. As you've already indicated, we didn't really have a choice in the matter because there was a release clause which was activated. And, as a football club, as we've shown in the past, we're never going to step in anyone's way if we think they're going to progress. We want our players to progress. It's beneficial for the club because it shows that we can develop players, develop the talent, and there's no doubt that Gary and the management team have put a lot of work into Ryan, and he's reacted in the right way, and not just as a footballer but as a person as well. He's grown up a lot over the last year or so, and that's evidenced with his move to Eastleigh, which obviously went through yesterday. So it's a big loss, but we've still got a fantastic squad here. And there's no doubt that we can still kick on, even with him departing. Yeah, exactly. And I think that the important thing as a chairman, how proud of you that he now joins the likes of Danilo, who obviously went in the summer. Yes, obviously you always want our team to be as good as possible, but the fact that these players are able to progress and on the right terms is a good thing, isn't it? It is, yeah. And I think anyone who's seen the response from Ryan and Danilo when he left in the closed season, I won't say the summer because obviously COVID's messed it up, but in the closed season, the reactions of those players when they do leave shows how much they appreciate what the football club has done for them, and how much Gary and his team have done for them. As I say, the guys work really hard to develop the players that we get on board, and you'll see players who have maybe not done as well as they could in their career to date come to us and really progress, and it is him say, when we're trying to attract us, it shows that we're doing things the right way, and we always have good relationships with the players who leave here, and I think that's evidenced with the likes of Jamal and people like that, and Danilo, and hopefully Ryan now we'll see go on and go into the Football League. Yeah, exactly. And obviously we also, before that we had the FA Cup draw. Could you quite believe it when Oldham came out at home again? Yeah. Well, we were on the Zoom call last night, sort of going through it, and Well, it was a long draw for starters.
It
really was a long draw.
It was, wasn't it?
And I could see 66 at the bottom, so I thought that's going to be one of the last balls to be picked. And as the list grew shorter and I saw Oldham still in there, I was thinking, oh no, it could happen. And of course it did. And I don't know what the odds were, but it's pretty astounding that we had Hornchurch at the same round. 3 seasons ago, and now we've got the same thing again with Oldham as well. It's a freak thing, but it's football, and I'm really looking forward to the game, as everyone should be. I think we've got a really decent chance of progressing.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that Gary mentioned actually in his pre-match interview. It's actually, I know we've played them before, but it's a League Two team at home. It's you could have asked, you could have obviously had a League One team at home, but a League Two team at home, that's not to be sniffed at by any stretch, is it?
When we say league, listen, Oldham are maybe not quite where they were a couple of years ago, but it's still a big club. This is an ex-Prem club, so there's always a lot of interest in ties like this because they have got that history there, and certainly from our perspective, we're not in fear of them or anything else. And to be honest, as I said last night, when you've got these League One, League Two teams, with the situation as it is now, there's no benefit going away. So I'd rather have them at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Which gives us an advantage, really.
Yeah, exactly. And and it's something to look forward to. We don't know yet whether we might be selected on the various different TV games or maybe one of the featured games, but again, we'll find out in the next few days. It's going to be a busy few weeks for the football club again, isn't it?
Yeah, depending on what happens. Again, it's not going to be like it was last time because we haven't got to organise the fans, but it was certainly a hell of an effort to get both BT Sport and the BBC on site doing 2 separate broadcasts. A phenomenal effort by everyone here, the volunteers, everyone else. It was a lot of hard work, and no doubt it'll be the same again if we are on TV, or even if we're not. It's still going to be a big undertaking to have an FA Cup of tie of that nature here.
Brilliant, Jax. Thanks very much. That was much appreciated. So, hopefully, and again, we're all learning the ropes here on all these sort of things, and it's credit to Dave Rees and Jason for their amazing setup. Archie, who's pointing the camera down right at me now. If you do want to donate for this, because obviously this is a free stream and we're doing this totally free, please head to HRBFC Live, and that will have our donation page on there. But we should hopefully have an interview now with Gary McCann talking about Ryan Hill, the FA Cup, and most importantly, tonight's match, which will be free on here. So I'm here with Gary in the manager's office before the game against Eastbourne Borough tonight. We've got quite a few things to talk about though. So Gary, first things first, this morning we announced that Ryan Hill had signed for Eastleigh. Obviously, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, disappointment, Seb, if I'm being honest. He's a player that I can take great satisfaction with, that he's been a work in progress for 18 months, 2 years, and he's got to where he's at now, which has obviously created interest, and it got ahead of steam on Thursday. We had a couple of offers come in on Friday that triggered his release clause, and and he had a decision to make, and obviously the progression and the step up the ladder is something that he desired and he's been striving for, and we had to respect and support. I did honestly believe that he could have stepped beyond the National League, and I did share that with him, and it's and I still stand by that. I felt he was moving very much towards that, but I have seen this season he's been a little bit derailed by the interest, I believe, and he'd be the first to admit that he's not quite got up and running since the first game, and maybe that's because he's been there's been quite a bit of interest in him, and he's a young man and really desperate to succeed, but he goes without blessing. I have nothing but respect for him. He's a really good human being as well as a good footballer, and I've taken a lot of time with him, and he'll tell you that it's been challenging at times, and it's not all been hunky dory. He's been in this office quite a few times over the course of his time with us, but I'm pleased he's progressed, and and I wish him really the best, and hope that he does really well.
Yeah, and obviously sandwiched between that, we had the FA Cup draw last night. And what were your thoughts when the Oldham name came out again?
Well, the Hornchurch name come out to start with in this cup run, didn't it? And I didn't really put that together really. That a couple of years ago we had Hornchurch and didn't even really contemplate Oldham. When we got to that latter stages of the draw, and Ipswich and Sunderland, it was Ipswich and Portsmouth that was still in the hat. You sort of started to think maybe this is it, but we can't be disappointed with Oldham. I think there was one or two mooted comments that we've been there, we've done that and whatnot. But this is a big attractive tie for the football club. I don't care that it's 2 years on from when we come up, just a little short. But we've got to really embrace this. It's a real glamorous tie. I hope that the TV takes stock of it like they did a couple of years ago. What's the difference between then and now? There's maybe a little bit more, a bit of a story there. So it's a good tie. It's a tie that we've worked really hard to get to. It's a tough game Saturday, and I'm pleased for the boys. But the focus is very much on these two next league games to start with. Seb.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly touch on it though. Obviously, the fact that we did get that draw 2 years ago. Do you think you're a better manager 2 years on?
Better manager. Well, anything with when you're managing, every experience is a managerial experience, Seb. And I suppose I've had 2 years of of more games, and 2 years more of headaches and problems and challenges and difficulties at times, but also successes as well. So it's a game that we'll go into with the utmost respect of the opposition, but it's also a game that we'll go into, Seb, that we really want to create the upset that all teams that find themselves up against our opposition are in the FA Cup. We want an upset. We want to create a bit of history as well and get to the second round proper if we can. And we'll do everything in our power to make that happen. And if it means I've got to be a bit better than I was last year, then so be it.
Yeah, brilliant. But yeah, obviously, so a lot's happened. But we're here against Eastbourne Borough at home tonight. It's important. Obviously, an important game. They're all important games at the moment. But how much? What are you looking for tonight?
3 points. I think we need to get our league season up and running. I know we've only had 2 games, Seb. I mean, it's no crisis of any means. We've drawn with one of the most fancy teams in the division, and we were maybe a bit unfortunate as St Albans didn't really deserve to get beat there. But this is a big game for us in our season. We need to get ourselves moving. We need to go through the gears. We've got a couple of problems to be dealing with. Obviously, the loss of Charlie the weekend is key to that back line, because the one thing we have been is very good in defence. And obviously Luke Ruddock coming back in, I think it's as much as he sat in this office a couple of minutes ago telling me he wants to play, and please Gaffer, I'm ready and willing. We've got to take that decision away from him. We can't afford to, going into Saturday's game with maybe no Christian Smith through suspension, no Charlie Wassemer through injury, and maybe no Luke Ruddock if he picks up a niggle or not tonight. So we need to manage that, and we need to, as I've just said, be nice and positive, nice and brave. The one thing I'm looking for tonight is bravery on the ball. I want us to be really brave in that final third and play with with a bit of freedom and expression.
Yeah, just to, and can you give the fans an update on the Charlie Wassemer injury?
Yes, he went off for an X-ray straight after the game with the new doctor. He managed to get us seen quite quickly. There's no break. He's got some heel damage there, so we're hoping it's just the fat pad on the heel that's injured. He's walked in here today. Said he couldn't walk yesterday. He's back. He's walking in a boot today. So we're hoping, all being well, that he'll be back amongst it next week and hopefully available for selection come the Oldham game. That's the challenge for Mark, but that's the player speaking there as much as anyone. So we'll wait and see what Mark's assessment is over the next 72 hours.
Yeah, and obviously with no Ryan Hill anymore, Wilson Carvalho comes in as well for his first start. What are you looking for from that front, that front line?
Well, if you look at that front line today, we've gone with Raz Coleman off of one side, Wilson Carvalho off the other, and Nico playing off of Nathan Minas. And when you look at the distances that we've just, we've just been party to what Nathan Minas covered. I mean, he covered more sprints in the weekend than any player that's ever worn the vest for us, which that in itself tells you the sort of effort and willing that he put in. No one has matched the distances that he sprinted the weekend. I thought that type of work does go unnoticed, but it doesn't go unnoticed from the management team. I thought he really put a shift in. I was really pleased with his performance, even if there was a little room for improvement in certain aspects. But that front four's got to go and win us the game. But that's ably assisted by Jake Gray and Sam Deadfield from behind them. So you could look at that front six as being, really strong, really potent, really needs to get on the front foot. It hasn't quite clicked through the gears, but I'm sure that front six is going to ask some questions to the opposition, and it's if the opposition have got the answers is the big factor.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks very much, Gary. And hopefully we can get off to 3 points and get the season really up and running.
Yep, for sure, Seb. That's the challenge for us all, and that is the focus by all the management team and the players, and I'm sure that will be achieved if we apply ourselves correctly.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, welcome back, everyone. We are here now for the main proceedings. You've had a few interviews there, one with Jax, one with Gary, and we've talked about the last few days. But it doesn't really matter what's gone on before, because now we are here for the big game against Eastbourne Borough, the Battle of the Boroughs. Some people are calling it. Yeah, well, we'll see. But the game is about to kick off any minute now, so we will quickly run through the teams. Alan Julian in goal for the Beavers, with Rene Steer, Kyron Farrell, Dean Inman, Christian Smith in defence, Jake Gray and Sam Deadfield in midfield, Carvalho, Nico Muir, Minhas and Rui Donaldson are in the team as and I will go through the Eastbourne Borough teams in a minute, but we are just about to kick off. Apologies, like I said, we're all learning at this, and we're all getting there. But the game has kicked off, and it's Hampton and Richmond Borough versus Eastbourne Borough. And that's a great header from the Eastbourne Borough defender. And we will see how the game progresses. But to the right of me is Matt Glue. Matt, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Seb. Hi, everybody. Good to be here again. Just one minor change to the lineup. It was as we were told, a last-minute change to the Hampton lineup. It's actually Razak Coleman in for Rui Donaldson on the wing for Hampton. As I say, a very last-minute change by Gary.
Yeah, it might be, or it might have been. It may be an error in the team sheet, but we don't.
Maybe.
At the end of again, like I said, we're all learning about this.
We're all learning.
This is these are all new times. Anyway, we've got a game in front of us here, and it's a very good game. Eastbourne Borough have done well this season. Hampton and Richmond Borough will be looking to get their season underway with 3 points, but it's going to be a tough game. Nathan Minhas receiving the ball extremely well there from the throw-in by Rene Steer, who's going to be playing right back. Rene Steer is traditionally a left back, but he'll be playing right back certainly starting at right back, with Kyron Farrell on the other side, Dean Inman in the centre defence, alongside Christian Smith, who has started the game in midfield on Saturday, but with Charlie Wassema's injury and Luke Ruddick not being used so quickly after his return. But anyway, Hampton and Richmond Borough on the attack here.
Very fast-paced game, Seb, so far. I mean, we're a couple of minutes in, and this is incredibly fast-paced, which is good. Yeah,
exactly. Both teams have gone straight at it, haven't they? That's to be fair. But I think it's hard. The players, and certainly Gary has mentioned a number of times that not playing in front of fans and stuff like that. But most of the games I've seen so far, the players are airing out the traps. It's not like it's made too much. Too much difference. But anyway, the Eastbourne Borough team in goal is Ravizoli, Vaughan, and then Woolwood, Innocent, Ferry, Dickinson, James, Dean Cox, very good player, James Hammond at number 8, Greg Lure, ex-Woking player who scored against Hampton Richmond Borough a couple of 18 months ago, I think it would have been now. Charlie Walker, the captain, number 10 up front, and then Charlie Kendall, number 11. But and if there are some Eastbourne Borough fans who are tuning in, welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. It's much appreciated, and we're glad that we can put this on for free so that you can watch your team in action. But it's Eastbourne Borough now on the attack in their light blue shirts, across to the far post, but it looks like it might go all the way out for a goal kick. But a first foray into into Hampton and Richmond box there from Eastbourne Borough, and Matt, it's going to be a good game between two good sides here. I think
it is, Seb. I mean, as I say, the pace of the game is pretty impressive. The two teams look very well drilled. You've got, some of the names in the Eastbourne lineup, speak for themselves. The Lures of this world, the Dean Cox. There's some good players here. So I think this is going to be an equal test. Both sides are strong in attack. Both sides, are strong in defence. So this is going to be a very, very interesting game. See which way this one goes, Seb. I think.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, Eastbourne Borough making the most of that slight mistake there in the defence by Hampton and Richmond Borough. But there, the number 7, Wilson Carvalho, just about was running down the wing. It seems familiar. It seems a bit strange to see a Hampton and Richmond player wearing the number 7 shirt and not being Ryan Hill, given he's done that.
It does.
But we wish, obviously, like Gary and Jax and the many fans, we wish Ryan all the very best at Eastleigh. But Hampton and Richmond Borough, Razak Coleman, nice control there, just a little bit strong, but he's regained possession of the ball and is now on the attack. Just tried to free Nathan Minhas through, but didn't quite come off on that occasion. But yeah, good to see Razak Coleman with a bright start there, Matt, wasn't it?
It was, Seb, and I've said it before. I mean, he came on against Hornchurch and made the Muir goal. I was commentating on that, and I thought he looked very, very sharp. And whether this was a last minute change to the team or what, I don't know. But he's still got a lot to prove. Razak Coleman.
I'm pretty sure it was a team sheet. Sheet error.
We think it was a team sheet error.
I spoke to Gary before the game, and he did mention that.
Fine.
Razak
So you've got.
Coleman, yeah.
I mean, you've got Razak on the right. You've obviously got Carvalho on the left. So two unfamiliar faces, actually. I think it's fair to say for Hampton in the starting 11.
To say, Matt. Absolutely, at this stage, yeah. These are two. Certainly. Obviously, Wilson came on for 5-6 minutes the other day.
Yeah.
Didn't have much time, and obviously I wouldn't necessarily say we were hanging on, but we certainly weren't in the ascendancy. So
agreed.
But
good to see Sam Deadfield back.
Sam Deadfield
in the starting lineup.
Yeah,
I think
for those who are joining us or new to Hampton and Richmond Borough, Sam Deadfield, one of the main players for the Beavers, certainly going forward. He's had a hamstring tweak the last couple of weeks, and he came on because of Charlie Wassmer's injury on Saturday and did very well, considering he hadn't played football for 2 weeks.
He did, and I said it on the radio on Saturday. So for me, you don't realise the value that Sam adds to the team until he's not playing in the side, and when he's not in the starting 11, we've just seen it. He is a valuable player to the Beavers, and it's good to see him in the middle of the park there with Jake Gray, who again had a very solid game on Saturday. He
did, and we spoke to Gary beforehand, and Jake Gray was second in the stats, I think, in terms of running. Third, I think obviously Rui Donaldson was second, but Nathan Minhas recorded the highest stats in terms of sprints, I do believe.
He also recorded the highest stats in terms of number of times he got his shirt pulled as well.
Exactly, that was also true. But yeah, Gary said it was the highest in terms of sprints that had been recorded since he was Hampton Richmond manager. So that goes to show the effort that Nathan Minhas had put in, and rightly so. He was lauded after that performance. Gary does expect a little bit more of him in front of goal, but that will come, I'm sure. But yeah, it's good to see him, and again, he starting the game again. It's his second start of the season, so he'll take credit and confidence from that. But Hampton Richmond on the attack, and as I say that, Nathan Minhas is going to retrieve that ball from Dean Inman, and he's on the right-hand side now, looking to make something happen. He passes it back to Razak Coleman, who puts a decent ball in the box, really, but you kind of would have that's where you would want Nathan Minhas, but he'd obviously been exchanging passes on the right-hand side, and he wasn't. There was no one there, and the ball was cleared by Eastbourne, and now they're on their counter-attack here. And it's looking quite dangerous here, but it looks like Rene Steele I thought was going to come out of it, but the number 11 from Eastbourne Borough has retained possession and done very well actually there, Charlie Kendall. Put the ball across, but it's well headed clear by Christian Smith. And yeah, again, if Christian Smith has played predominantly centre midfield, and anyway, but let's not stop talking about that, because Eastbourne on the attack here, and Dean Cox on the edge of the box, and that was a nice shot, to be fair. And we were right in behind him there when he took that shot. And it was important that Rene Steer got in the way there, and it's deflected for a corner. But yeah, we were right in line with that shot. It looked like it was going goalwards and quick, wasn't it?
It was definitely travelling. Yeah, good attacking play there by Eastbourne.
Yeah, it
was. They're looking pretty dangerous, Seb, I'd say.
Yeah, they have. I think the first corner of the game, and it's gone to Eastbourne, and it's going to be swung into the box there. Alan Julian's just in front of him, but it looks like a scramble in the box, but but the ball was ping-ponging all over the place. But now Hampton and Richmond Borough on the counter-attack, and Nathan Minhas has tried to set Nico Muir free, which is not the worst ball in the world at all, to be fair. But to be fair, and I've been told that I say to be fair quite a lot, so I won't try and say that.
Well, I won't. If you don't say to be fair, I won't say indeed.
Indeed,
there's
okay,
to be fair.
Well, if I say indeed and you say to be fair, then we can swap. But anyway, no. Joking aside, the ball went from one end of the pitch to the other, but it was well dealt by Eastbourne Borough, to be fair. And Dean Cox is starting to get his foot on the ball a couple of times here, and a player of his quality, you don't want that to happen too often. And anyway, Eastbourne on the attack, and it's that number 11, Charlie Kendall again, who's been really strong there and kept possession against Christian Smith. But it looks like it was well defended there by Jake Gray. So then Sam Deadfield and Nico Muir, and Hampton and Richmond looking. But it looks, at the moment, that's a lovely ball from Sam Deadfield on the right-hand side, but it's a little bit too much on it. And Razak Coleman's done extremely well to win it from the keeper, and he's going to try and hit it across the goal towards Nathan Minas, but it's cleared by the defender. But I tell you what, that was exactly what Gary Hill demands of his players. To chase every single thing, and well played Razak Coleman there. Brilliant work for chasing that down.
Very good. I mean, I actually thought he actually sort of stopped in his run when he was chasing the ball down then and then started again, but just goes to show what a bit of pressure does on the goalkeeper.
And it's a decent ball across, just looking...
Very good ball across.
Decent ball across, and it's well cleared, and Nathan Minas, maybe looking back and being maybe harsh, Nathan Minas could have run across, but it's easy to say that when... But anyway, Hampton and Richmond Borough with their first corner now, and Kyron Farrell's going to swing the ball in, and it's close to the keeper towards Christian Smith, and it's only cleared towards the edge of the area. Sam Deadfield, strong shot, and Wilson Carvalho's picked it up, and that's a great effort, and that's a great save from the number 1, Franco Ravizoli. I hope I've said that right, apologies, but that is a very positive spell from Hampton and Richmond Borough there.
Very good, great play, great skill by Carvalho there, looking sharp on the turn, and getting a real good shot away. It's good pressure from the Beavers.
Corner towards Nico Muir, and it's going to be a third corner for the Beavers now. This is a great period of play for the Beavers, but Matt, as we've said on commentary, as we've said on the stream, we got to be more clinical, and that's why we haven't probably scored as many goals as we would have liked at this stage of the season.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
let's make the most of it. 3 corners in a row. Let's try and let's ask a bit more. Sam Deadfield's going to take this one this time. And he swings the ball towards, and it's flicked on towards. It looked like it was. It's all the way. It's gone to Kyron Farrell, who tries to slide it through to Nico Muir, and that wasn't bad because Nico Muir was free on goal, and that would have been an issue. But anyway, Eastbourne Borough on the counter-attack here, and it's a great strong run from the number 10, Charlie Walker, and captain, which is brought to a halt by Kyron Farrell, and I imagine that's a yellow card.
I think it is.
It is a yellow card.
Unfortunately, the fact that was from behind, it was his first foul of the game, but. Pretty cynical, and unfortunately, I think that is a deserved red for Kyron Farrell.
Red?
Sorry, yellow.
Blimey,
definitely not a red. Definitely not a red.
No.
We have one of those on Saturday. We don't need another one now.
2 of them on Saturday actually, and it was in a strange game. But that's the first real sort of decision that the referees had to make. Obviously, the corners have been corners, the goal kicks and free kicks and that. So. But yeah, he's made a decision there, and it's yellow card. It's probably fair enough, to be fair, and that's with us with our Hampton and Richmond Borough goggles on. But we always do try and remain impartial, and we know that there will be some Eastbourne Borough fans listening, as well as Hampton and Richmond Borough fans. So Anyway, Eastbourne Borough are going to have that's a shot from the number 8 that's going to go straight out for a goal kick. James Hammond there wasn't the worst effort in the world, but it also wasn't the best.
It wasn't. It also should be mentioned actually. No Whelpdale for Eastbourne tonight.
Yeah, I think
in the starting 11. Actually, I know Whelpdale has started the season very, very well. I think he got injured on Saturday. So I know the sports fans amongst you who are listening in tonight would be disappointed in that news, and obviously good news for the Beavers given his starts of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it definitely was a name mentioned in dispatches, and yes. Something that Hampton and Richmond Borough obviously would have preferred to see, but if you're an Eastbourne Borough fan, of course, Matt, someone has just inquired on the chat that are these commentators are drunk? Commentators are drunk. We're definitely not drunk.
These commentators are drunk.
We haven't had.
We've actually got a flask of coffee.
Between
us, so we're definitely not.
Yeah. Be patient with us. We've done this for a few games now, and we hope that.
I wish we were drunk.
We would like there to be fans in here, and me and Matt would be stood behind the goal in our usual positions, behind. Well, we'd be behind the Hallen Simpson stand, because we would be, and it would be great. Obviously, again, me and Matt are extremely lucky, extremely fortunate to be here, and watching the game while you guys have to watch it at home and listen to our voices. But yes, we will try our very best. And Razak Coleman on the right hand side now. Oh, we still got the ball. Oh, it's good defending in the end of it there by Eastbourne Borough. And Matt. So what we on now? We're at 13 minutes of ball. It's tell you what, both teams are still keeping the pace up. Anyway, Wilson Carvalho on the edge of the box. He looked like he might be shaping up to shoot, but he lays it off to Jake Gray, and he gets a return pass now, and is probably going to get the ball back to Rene Steer, who puts the ball in, and it's cleared, well defended by the number 3 there from Eastbourne Borough. Yeah. Kai Woolard Innocent, who I believe is on loan from QPR, is that?
He is a QPR, yeah, he is. I think he's a 20-year-old QPR academy player on loan at Eastbourne. Yeah, he did do well.
Hemel had a couple of QPR loan players as well, so that, they're only down the road. We should be...
exactly. We had a certain Senny Dieng.
Well, we did have a Senny Dieng, who's now playing in goal for them, to be fair, so exactly. yeah. But anyway, Hampton and Richmond Borough now with their 4th corner of the game. Karen Farrell's going to swing this ball in quite close to the keeper, and Christian Smith underneath the bar really should have been in, shouldn't it, Matt? Let's be honest.
I'd say that was that was it was a great ball across from Farrell. Smith has met that very, very well indeed, and unfortunately just gone over the bar. But good passage of play for Hampton.
Would you argue, Matt, and this is what some commentators may say, or some people sometimes say, he almost connected with that too well.
Yeah.
Just a little nudge on that, and that would go straight in. He's connected with it, and he's just under the bar, and it's gone flying over.
You can half hear it when he connected with the ball.
Yeah, and anyway, Eastbourne Borough on the attack here, and it's dangerous, and the number 10's had a great shot, and he's put it right into the bottom right-hand corner. That's a great goal from Eastbourne Borough. Charlie Walker has taken that extremely well and has drilled it home into the bottom right-hand corner of Alan Julian's goal. I don't think there was anything Alan Julian could have done there at all. But it was a quick break from Eastbourne Borough. We're just watching it back now. And you have to say, it's very good play. I mean, Charlie Walker should not be free. Christian Smith has drifted into the box there and left Charlie Walker with time and space to control the ball and then drill the ball home. Not too dissimilar to the finish of Hampton Richmond Borough fans would have seen from Nico Muir on Saturday. Yeah. He's drilled it into the corner. It's a very, very good goal.
It's a good goal.
We score good goals quite often on counter-attacks like that, but that was textbook from Eastbourne Borough, and fair play.
I mean, what made that goal for the goal scorer there was his first touch was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't snatch it. He took a real good first touch and great finish into the bottom corner. 1-0 Eastbourne.
1-0. Well, yeah. So in the Battle of the Boroughs, Eastbourne have taken the first scored first, and it's
slightly against run of play.
Slightly against the run of play in the last few minutes, but to be fair, both Charlie Walker and Charlie Kendall have looked dangerous when the ball's been up that end of the pitch, and if you give them time and space, as Charlie Walker showed there, you'll be punished. But anyway, Sam Dedford on the right-hand side laid it across to Razak Coleman, who's had a lot of the ball this game, but unfortunately has passed the ball out to Rene Steer, and you may have heard, you might be able to pick up the mic there. There's the protestation, shall we say, for unhappiness from Gary, and obviously we'll be upset with it going goal behind, because that's one of the things that we one of the things that we have done well this season so far is kept teams out. St Albans only scored 1 goal. Dartford kept clean sheet against a very good side, and Gary be disappointed going behind so early, obviously. But anyway, Hampton and Richmond Borough on the attack, and it's a long ball towards Nico Muir, and it's a throw into Eastbourne. Unfortunately, guys, our technical capabilities not quite at to speed to show a replay yet. Apologies. That is something we are looking into, but not today, Eastbourne Borough fans, and it's not because the away team scored it. Please rest assured that if we end up scoring, we won't be able to show a replay of that one either. Apologies. So but as I said, this is a stream that we're putting on for free. Fantastic work by loads of volunteers to get us into this position. But if you do feel like you want to contribute and can contribute, then there is a donation page on hrbfc.live. So every penny is put back into this so we can make this even better. And who knows, that might be to pay for an editor to put replays in, even if away teams score. Trust me. But yes. Anyway, we are 17-18 minutes into this game now, and Eastbourne Borough have attacked well and attacked with purpose, and are 1-0 up. Hampton Richmond Borough has certainly had possession and territory down there, but with a couple of good shots and a couple of good saves from the Ravizoli in goal. But it's been a decent game so far, hasn't it, Matt?
It has. I would say 2 pretty even sides. I mean, obviously Eastbourne with the goal, but there's been a couple of chances for the Beavers that could have easily gone in. I think Gary will be very disappointed with the goal set. I mean, we could hear we could hear him. Let's just say slightly from where we're sat, and particularly unhappy with, I think, the nature of how we defended that that counter-attack that led to their goal. But plenty of time left in this game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And we're not even 20 minutes in yet, so Gary will hope that his side will be better. So fantastic ball from the number 3 there, Woodward Innocent, the left back for Eastbourne. But it is defended and mopped up by. But I tell you what, who I've been very impressed so far, is the number 8 for Eastbourne Borough, James Hammond. There, he's sort of
he's looked good, hasn't he?
He's starting things, but he's also breaking things up as he just did then. He's roving, and I've been quite impressed.
Is playing well as well.
They are. They're playing well, Eastbourne here. But yeah, Hampton and Richmond Borough need to be a bit more lively, I would say, in the centre of midfield at the moment, because it does feel that they're winning the ball a bit more and attacking a bit more with purpose. And as I say that, Kyron Farrell does extremely well defensively there, like any good defender. You know, you want them to see the ball out very well. But yeah, good work from Kyron Farrell there. But if you are just joining us, thank you very much for joining us. We've got over 400 people watching on a Tuesday night when there's Champions League football on. Thank you very much for joining us on this. Well, it's cold. It's cold here anyway, wherever you are, wherever you're watching it in the world. I'm sure there might be some people watching it in warmer climes. It's absolutely chucked it down today. So, and the pitch is looking great. Huge credit to Richard Curtis, our groundsman, and his ground staff as well, who have been working wonders with the pitch. And yes, it does look great. It looks. I'd like to get on there and play it. But not quite good enough. Certainly not. No. Yeah. Certainly not if I was drunk either, Matt. And of course we're not. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have to have some coffee in a minute, Matt. Matt's bought the chocolate eclairs as well.
I've got the chocolate eclairs.
But anyway,
we'll get them open.
Let's move on to the pitch. What's happening on the pitch? Kyron Farrell now is going to put the ball into the box, and most of Hampton and Richmond Borough's players are either in the penalty box or around the penalty box. Kyron Farrell flicks it through. Nice flick on from Razak Coleman, and it went over and out for a goal kick. Apologies. But yeah, it's well, Matt, we're 20 minutes in here. We need I think Gary's going to be expecting a bit more from Hampton and Richmond Borough, going both forward and defensively. I think if you were of an Eastbourne Borough persuasion, and certainly the manager of Eastbourne Borough, you'd be pretty impressed with how the away team have come out, and
they've set up well. They've looked pretty sharp, I think. Seb, it's fair to say, but the left back there again, Woodward Innocent, he's looked very good.
Yeah, and he's been brought down by Razak Coleman, who protests his innocence, but I think it's fair to say that was a foul.
I like what you did there.
Yeah. Protest is innocent. Yeah, of course, man. Yeah. Yes, someone's made a very good point, and and if you haven't seen the Beveree, Tony Craggs has made a very good point. Never seen so many trees so close to the pitch. That's what we love about the Beveree. It's beautiful, tree-lined, traditional ground with stands, higgledy-piggledy, some would say, and I'm glad you've seen that. And hopefully when fans are allowed back, Tony, please come down. But anyway, Eastbourne Borough are on the attack, and it's well cleared. It's a Dean Inman defensive header.
Surprise, Dean Inman gets the header.
We'll say that a lot, but yeah.
No Charlie Wasmer today, so I know we said it at the beginning.
Yeah,
it's a big loss for
It's
for
a big
Hampton
loss, but I think Hampton Richmond, me and you were very concerned when he walked off the pitch the other day, or hobbled off the pitch, and then was seen on crutches and went straight to hospital. So Gary he says he may be available for the Oldham game, but that is
not as bad as first feed. I think
exactly.
is the parting line, which obviously is great news for Hampton fans. Yeah. But he is a big loss at the back. But Christian Smith slotted in there very well on Saturday, and he looks equally at home as a centre back as he does in the midfield, I think. So,
Christian Smith did that a lot in pre-season as well. I think, and again, I hope I'm not casting aspersions on Christian, but if I look back on the goal that scored, it looked like he may have let Charlie Walker free, or at least have space essentially. But whether that was him or Dean Inman, or it may be one of the other defenders, but.
Lewis Robinson on the chat says, "Bring back Martin Tyler."
No.
We won't be doing that, Lewis.
Yeah, he's very much Woking now.
Yeah.
There's a one-way door between not a door. There's a one-way path between Woking and Hampton and Richmond Borough. And it seems to go from Hampton to Woking. But joking aside,
well played, yes.
But Alan Dowson and what he did here will always be remembered. The Max Kretschmars who was playing, and Jack Cooks, and they were good players. So. Yeah, but Martin Tyler, obviously assistant manager at Woking, of course. If you are joining us, and if you are new to us. But anyway, hopefully you are new. But anyway, Hampton and Richmond Borough have got a free kick here. Sam Deadfield's going to put the ball nice into the box, but it's going to go straight towards the keeper, which Christian Smith was challenging, and the referee's whistle didn't blow. So if the ball had bounced more favourably for Hampton and Richmond Borough, we might have had a sniff at goal there. But
good pressure on the keeper again.
Yeah.
That's a couple of times now that the keeper's looked a little bit ruffled at the back.
Yeah. He has a little bit, hasn't he? Yeah. Yes, he has a little bit. But to be fair, when he was called upon to make that very, very good, smart save from a very good Wilson Carvalho shot, who I think, if you were of a Hampton and Richmond Borough persuasion, again, he's not played much football recently, and this is only his second game. That's great play from Sam Deadfield. But yeah, Wilson Carvalho hasn't played much football, but we are, Hampton and Richmond Borough fans will certainly be looking to him as one of the outlets and creativity and pace in the final third. So hopefully, there's no doubt about it. The pedigree he's got. He played for Accrington last season. He signed for Macclesfield in the league above. So he's really got good pedigree, and he's a good signing for Hampton and Richmond Borough. But yeah,
Kurt Baker from football. Drink every time said.
I think I might have just
to
said,
be fair.
To be fair, yeah.
I'll just do a drink now.
Yeah. Kurt Baker might be right there, but Hampton and Richmond Borough on the attack here, and Wilson Carvalho, the player that I mentioned there, has retained possession extremely well. And it's laid the ball back towards Kyron Farrell, who then tries... Oh, it's deflected, but it's on Nico Muir. Nico Muir, that position, just on the edge of the box. He does like to make things happen. If you are new to Hampton and Richmond Borough or new to non-league football, Nico Muir was traditionally quite, a goal scorer and a striker. But the last few weeks he's been playing that number 10 role and trying to make things happen. And he can make things happen. He's a really good player. That's a lovely ball from Carvalho into the box. Razak Coleman's arms, there's no doubt about it. We're up above his head, and it was a handball. But what a ball that was from Wilson Carvalho. You want to see more of that from Hampton and Richmond Borough.
Yeah, you do. He's looking sharp, I think, Seb. I've been very impressed with him so far.
Yeah.
He's looking good.
Yeah. But again, Greg Lure, I must admit, I thought when he played for Woking on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Day, 2 seasons ago.
Me and Matt, let's just say, I actually went round to Matt's for the...
We were somewhat hungover, I think.
Somewhat hungover. Yeah. Woking did a real number on us, and Greg Lure was fantastic. Yeah. And I must admit, Eastbourne Borough, I think you're very lucky to have a player of his calibre. He's certainly one of the better number 9s at this level.
Previously of Hull, if I'm not mistaken, Lure.
Yeah, he's had some players, isn't he?
Yeah, he's had some clubs, but yeah, this Hull. Then he went off on loan for a few seasons.
Dean Inman's tried to set Nathan Minas clear, and that's lovely control from Nathan Minas. A lovely ball from Dean Inman, lovely control from Nathan Minas, who's tried to get the ball up into the box, but it's not quite happened there for the Beavers. But a few more balls like that and a bit more control like that, then hopefully it might happen there sometime soon for the Beavers. But yeah, again, if you are new to this, and I know there will be some people that maybe haven't listened to a Hampton or seen a Hampton and Richmond Borough game or commentary before, Hampton and Richmond Borough are nicknamed the Beavers. There is some debate about that. The road leading to the ground is called Beaver Close, but that came in and around the 60s. So yeah, and it will be Hampton and Richmond Borough's 100th year in May, or 100th birthday, should we say, in May, at the end of this season. So maybe we can find out for sure. But anyway, Eastbourne Borough on the attack, and that's great clearing from Rene Steer, that was very good from Rene Steer, and needed to be, because loitering with intent was Dean Cox, who has been adjudged to foul there, but dangerous again from Eastbourne Borough, and quick as well. They're very quick, aren't they, Matt? Again.
Yeah, they are very, very quick in attacks. That's a good observation. I mean, Steer's done fantastically well there. He's playing out of position. It should be added as well. I mean, he's a left back by trade, Rene Steer. Stacks of experience. Which just goes to show there. I mean, he's covered his centre halves fantastically well there.
Anyway, 28th minute we're in here now, and Hampton Richmond Borough are trailing to the visitors Eastbourne Borough. It's been a decent game, to be fair, and both teams have had their chances. Eastbourne Borough, in the form of Charlie Walker, took theirs, and they're in the lead. But it's been a decent game, it has to be said. And if you are joining us, if you are just joining us, Eastbourne Borough probably look more potent, shall we say, up front. Hampton Richmond Borough certainly had some possession and territory out there in the final third of Eastbourne Borough, but Yes.
I think they'd be. I think Eastbourne will be happy so far. Obviously, they're winning the game, but they're more than holding their own there.
Yeah.
It's a nudge on Inman.
It was a nudge on him and Dean Inman, but he still won it. And
course
anyone that listens to any commentary, whether it's commentary on the radio or the commentary on the stream, we have a lot of love. Tonight, Dean Inman is captain as well, but we have a lot of love for Dean Inman. He's just one of the best defenders at this level. And that's a love. Oh, it looked like it was going to sneak through to Nathan Minas and there, but it didn't quite happen for the Beavers. But yeah, a lot of love for Dean Inman, and deservedly captain tonight in the absence of Charlie Wassmer and Luke Ruddock. That's a lovely kick from the keeper, and that's Greg Lowe who's tried to put the ball across goal, and it looked like it was going to sneak in at the far post, but it's flashed across goal. That came from a brilliant kick from the Eastbourne Borough keeper. Great control from Greg Lowe, and we mentioned just moments ago, didn't we, how good he was, and he certainly showed it there. I mean, it was one of those ones where he flung it into the box, but it looked from this angle that it might.
Yeah, he done well.
We're obviously in the halfway position here. It looked like it might sneak in at the far post.
Yeah, did indeed. Done very, very well.
But yeah, Eastbourne Borough again on the attack here. Been impressed with him, to be fair, and this good defending from Hampton Richmond Borough. And Razak Coleman's got a chance here now. But I would have.
I'm surprised he slowed that down.
Really slowed that down. And Nathan Minas trying to get that. That was good defending from the Eastbourne defenders. And that, to be fair to as I've said, to be fair again, but the Eastbourne Borough defenders have looked very strong actually so far. But Nathan Minas has turned one of them there, put the ball across goal towards Wilson Carvalho, and it looked like it was going to sneak through for the far post. Great play from Nathan Minas, real strong play against very good defenders, and he's put the ball in the right spot, and it's ping-ponged around, and it's gone out for a goal kick there. But
very good. Yeah, Minas looked class there. That was really, really good play. Great strength.
Number 5, Mitchell Dickinson, has been strong most of this game. And you can see he's got a little bit of him, but then you can see the hands of Nathan Minas as well. And sometimes
that was 6-1.
50-50,
yeah, I wouldn't have said that was a foul.
It wasn't on Saturday, was it?
No.
You know, that's what frustrated him. But well played, Nathan Minas there. Well played if you're a Hampton Richmond Borough fan. Obviously, if you're an Eastbourne Borough fan, and I know there's a few piping up, and rightly so. Of course, that's what the chat feature's there for. Just Christian Smith's conceded a free kick, and I think he might get a yellow card here. And I think Christian Smith might get a yellow here. That's the third yellow card in less than 120 minutes of football for Christian Smith. He also got 2 on Saturday and was sent off. And
yeah, he doesn't shy away from tackles.
I
Christian
don't know
Smith.
if it was quite a yellow, that, to be fair.
It was pretty harsh. It was his first foul.
It was his first foul, but the referee has adjudged that to be a yellow, and
I think that was harsh.
Eastbourne Borough have got a free kick now, and it's looking dangerous. And James Hammond, who's another player that's looked good in this Eastbourne Borough lineup, I think he was going to take it. Look, he is going to take it. Sorry, the number 2 from Eastbourne, James Vaughan. Oh no, James Vaughan will take that actually and loft it in towards the far corner, and it's nearly gone through to the back post. But it's good recovery from the Eastbourne Borough players on the edge of the box, and they've gone. And they've still got the ball here, and Dean Cox's nimble feet in the box has laid it back to James Hammond, who's going to have a shot, and has put it behind the Keith Hussey stand. But very, very nice play from Eastbourne Borough again. You can't argue,
Yeah, they're finding their rhythm, Seb.
That's a very good point.
We're under the cosh here a little bit. This is the time to weather the storm.
I think. I think what Gary would be a bit unhappy with is they're picking the ball up a bit too easy in midfield and starting it.
They're winning. They've won every midfield battle.
Dare I say on this occasion that perhaps we are missing a Christian Smith-like character? Obviously, we know why. We know why. I'm not casting aspersions by any stretch of the imagination on this occasion on Gary McCann's selection, because obviously Christian Smith had to play centre defence. Luke Ruddock hadn't played a game for months and played 90 minutes the other day, incredibly. So, but dare I say we're missing that a little bit, and I think that's what James Hammond, which he just did there, is doing a lot for Eastbourne Borough. He's picking the ball up in front of the defence, but also moving in between the back 4 and the front 2 for Eastbourne Borough. Anyway, Hampton and Richmond Borough on the attack. But yeah, I've been impressed with Eastbourne Borough, and Gary made no secret about it. chatting to him before the game, he knew that this was going to be a tough test, and it's proved to be the case, hasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it has. It has. It's the midfield. The engine room is very, very, very good for Eastbourne. The intensity of the play, the passage, the pace of the play. They've got they're individually. There's some very, very good performances so far, and I think that they are. I'm repeating myself, I know, but they are winning the midfield battle at the moment.
Yeah, which means Hampton and Richmond Borough having to defend more and not being able to exploit their attacking options. Because with the attacking options that Hampton and Richmond Borough have got in Minas, Coleman, Nico Muir, Cavalier, they're good players. Good players. So we're meant to make more of that. But at the moment, Eastbourne Borough aren't letting them. And Rene Steer sets Razak Coleman 3 on the right-hand side.
Well done.
Well done from Razak Coleman there. It's good tackle again though from the number 3, Carl Warwood, innocent. He's done well. And Sam Deadfield tries, just turns around. Start again, lads. It's good defending from Greg Lure, defending from the front there. I mean, that is what you want to see any attacker do, isn't it? Your team, number 9 there, winning the ball in left-back position. Well played. But yeah, Hampton and Richmond Borough now have a throw-in. Hampton, the Beavers will need to get back into this game. Well, they need to get back into this game anyway with a goal. Obviously, I know that's obvious, but at the same time, it just feels like they need to assert their ascendancy a bit, or assert an ascendancy a bit more, Anyway, Karen Farrell on the edge of the box is going to try and wiggle all the way through. That's a great shot, and it's a great save from the keeper. Well done, Karen Farrell there. Great move. We know how dangerous he can be going forward, but I tell you what, the keeper's come up trumps again. He's got down low to him and he's put it away for I think that's a 5th Hampton and Richmond Borough corner. Good chance for the Beavers, wasn't it, Matt?
Very good. Farrell's done excellently there. The Hampton left back, he's come right through onto his unfavoured right foot, and keeper's pulled off a very, very good save.
Anyway, Karen Farrell, who won that corner, puts the ball in, and it looked like Christian Smith was going to lurk and head that in, but it's well defended by the keeper. The ball's put back in again, and they're trying to find Karen Farrell, and the ball goes out for a goal kick. Good, well played from the keeper. Got both occasions there, because I said maybe he's looked a little bit shaky, only a little bit shaky, but he did extremely well there to clear that.
Yeah, he did. This is quite an entertaining game.
I tell you what,
it's two solid teams.
Two decent teams. I think, as we keep mentioning, that Eastbourne Borough obviously will be happier, and does it, probably nudging in front on a few things. Mind you saying that, that's 2 very, very good saves the keeper's pulled off Eastbourne Borough there. 2 very good shots as well. So the Beavers are very much still in this. There's no doubt about it. But we have to be aware of Eastbourne Borough on the attack, because they have looked dangerous, and again they're playing nice again. They're creating something here, and Dean Cox on the left-hand wing. You don't want him to have too much time on the ball if you're Hampton and Richmond Borough. He swung the ball in, great ball towards the goal scorer and captain Charlie Walker, and
good play by Cox.
Good defending in the end, but that was
good defending, good play by Cox there on the left.
Good attacking play. It was a good touch from Charlie Walker again, looking alert and alive in the box. Rene Steer now with the ball, but towards Razak Coleman, and he's been, I have to say,
he's certainly been involved, hasn't he, Razak?
Coleman's been involved, but I have to say the number 3 has been on him at every single point, and the young lad, there's a big size difference there between the two as well, but he's not been overawed. But again, Eastbourne Borough picking the ball from midfield. But again, to be fair, Rene Steer's won that very well. I've said to be fair again.
You're going to notice it every time now.
Yeah.
To be
anyway,
fair.
Jake Gray, and someone's asking what the website to donate. It's at hrbfc.live, and you should be able to find the donation link to go onto there. Thanks very much, and we genuinely appreciate that. We're putting this on free because we want as many people to find out, not just about Hampton and Richmond Borough, but about non-league football at this level. This is elite level. This is the last rung of elite level. And hopefully, even this game so far has shown that you do see some very, very good football at this level. And it's a massive shame that fans can't be here, because
it's awful.
Fans make all football, but particularly so at this
level.
level.
We all know that football is nothing without fans. And, well, we all knew that pre-COVID. And this is just proven that is absolutely the case. I mean, as Seb said earlier on, we're very lucky to be here in person, but the atmosphere is somewhat odd, let's just say.
It is odd, but at least people can. That's what we wanted to do. Make sure that people could watch this, and again, people that haven't seen Hampton and Richmond Borough before, haven't seen a National League South game before. here we are. This is football at this level, and do you know what? It's decent, and do you know what? It's good fun, isn't it?
Oh, it's great fun.
Me and Matt both come from. Matt, used to go and watch Chelsea week in, week out. I used to go and watch Yeovil Town week in, week out, and then on league now again. But that's for another day. But we came here 4 or 5 years ago, and here we are on a cold. Fortunate enough to be here on a cold Tuesday night commentating.
5 years later, so.
Yeah, 5 years, yeah. Hampton Richmond Borough lost 4-0 in the first game. I don't know why, mad that we came back, to be honest, but we did, and I'm on the board, Matt's on the Supporters Trust, and again, that's something that Hampton and Richmond Borough should be very proud of. All teams with Supporters Trust influence there's a great link with the club here, so, and the hierarchy at the club, so it's a good club to be part of and good club to follow, whether it's just you turning up and watching us on a Saturday afternoon and chucking a few quid in the pot, because I'm telling you now, it goes into a pot and we spend it on things to make this even better. But anyway, enough of the sell. Rene Steer's been well defended by the number 3 by Eastbourne Borough. Very, very good performance so far from the young lad. I say young, he's 20.
Yeah, he's got something about him.
So he's young to me.
Willard innocence there, but he's got something about him for me. He looks very, very solid at left back. He really does. When he's 20 years old, QPR academy player. I think Eastbourne have got a good one there.
But yeah, Rene Steer with the throw towards Jake Gray. Bit too heavy, that touch from Jake Gray. That's a great tackle. That is, again, that's non-league tackle, that, isn't it?
That's
both
unreal.
Players, not both experienced players. Dean Cox and Rene Steer. They've got great
oodles of experience between them, and they both get up and carry on.
Get on with it. Brilliant. Someone's just said that the advantage of having trees surrounding the pitch is to actually a natural buffer to keep the balls in. I'm not sure our kit man would agree with you. Plenty of those balls go missing, I'll tell you that. But no, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. But unfortunately, that's a great turn from Nathan Minas in the box. He lays it off to Nico Muir. I'll tell you what, that was some brilliant football from Nathan Minas, and he deserved a bit more from that. But here come Eastbourne.
The pace of this attack.
Eastbourne Borough, and there's 3 of them there. Jake Gray's having to track back with Charlie Walker, but that's a great header from Dean Inman. Well,
I've been really impressed with Eastbourne's.
They
don't mess around. They really step it
around.
up a gear when they want to. When they go into attack,
do you know what, Matt? It's very reminiscent of Hampton towards the end of last season with the Ryan Hills and Danilos and that. But anyway, as a point of reference, if for that's how impressive it is. That's a great ball from Sam Deadfield towards Nico Muir, who's on the edge of the box. He's going to lay it back to Sam Deadfield. It's a bit of a 50-50 ball. It wasn't a great ball back to Sam Deadfield, and Hampton Richmond Borough lose possession. And
yes,
Dean Inman, look at that for defensive work. What a player! He's tried to set Razak Coleman free, and he may. And there's a bit.
I think there's cries from. I think Deadfield wanted that to his feet, but
no, I think he wanted to give it to Jake and then keep it rather than hitting it long. And
yeah.
We're all experts after it happens, aren't we? And we've seen. Well, Dean Inman's done a couple of those balls and it's come off so far in this game. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we got about 5 minutes or so left of this first half. Eastbourne Borough are winning this 1-0, and I would argue that they've looked very impressive. Not to say that Hampton Richmond Borough haven't had their chances, and again that's great midfield play from that isn't James Hammond this time, it's number 4 James Ferry. Brilliant. And again, Eastbourne Borough attack with poise and purpose, and that's a great ball from the left back, and it's well defended by Christian Smith. Dean Cox with it on the right hand side sets it back to James Ferry, who's looked very good. Him and Hammond have looked great in midfield, to be fair, and I've said to be fair. Do you know what? Just let me. I'm just going to say it and just leave it at that. Every time I bring it. But again, Eastbourne Borough attacking with real intent.
Yeah,
and keeping the ball up there.
They've shaded this half for me so far. Said they've looked good. They're growing into the game as well. I think actually. Hampton had their chances though. I mean, you certainly shouldn't take that away from Hampton. It's not all one-sided, but the Eastbourne team just seemed to have reached another gear that Hampton haven't quite got to yet. I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Yes, I think what we know as we watching Hampton week in, week out, we know that this midfield can do better.
Here we go.
Jake Grays and the Sam Deadfields can do even better. That's it. That's taking one for the team.
Yeah.
No different from what Karen Farrell did.
We discussed this on Saturday. That is in inverted commas a good foul.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not a good foul if Hampton go on to get a goal. But it was a cynical foul. Deserved red. Yellow again. I've said red again.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I've not even had a drink.
Yeah, exactly. I genuinely haven't had a drink. Genuinely. Normally during a match day, on a normal match day, with fans here and in a normal match day. Obviously, these aren't normal match days anymore. Me and Matt would be a good 3 or 4 pints down. Trust me.
Oh god. Yeah. Is that all? By now. Yeah. Well,
by now.
I was going to say that's in the Jolly Coopers beforehand.
Yeah. And if you don't know Hampton or don't know the area, if you are ever in that area of Hampton, Jolly Cooper's pub just down the road is one of the best in London, if not the country, for me.
Sure.
They're brilliant supporters of the football
big
club.
Big supporters of the club. The ground is what, 2 or 3 minutes around the corner.
Yeah, and
great ales.
They also helped us out load with the food bank.
They did
during lockdown, which was a really. We were really proud that we could do that during lockdown, and we helped out so many people, and so many people contributed and donated to that, and it was great, and it showed how important a football club can be within the community. Hampton and Richmond Borough aren't unique, non-league club aren't unique to that. It's all about the community, but we're all. I think at times of crisis, communities come together, and that's what happened. And yes, fans aren't back. We're lucky to be back here, and football is back to some extent. But of course, it's not really truly right until the fans are walking past us here and with their pints and shouting, not abuse by any stretch, but saying hello and that sort of thing. But anyway, Hampton Richmond Borough on the attack, and that's great play from Razak Khan, but it's also a good tackle from the number 2 there. James Vaughan, good stop, and again they recycle the ball quickly in the centre of midfield, and they're back on the attack, Eastbourne Borough. And that's a number. Good tackle from Sam Deadfield. Good tackle. No, not even any appeals there, was there from anyone? But because it was a good tackle, but
he's your defensive midfielder. Filling in at right back there.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely touch from James. Matt, I think we'll stay going live during the second half time.
So.
Yeah, and if anyone's got any questions, anything about Hampton and Richmond Borough, anything about non-league football, anything about the game, any suggestions for alternatives to words like "to be fair" or "indeed," then we'll take them. Please come in the chat at half time. Be nice to us, obviously, but yeah, we'll stay live. Why not? I don't. We might have to put an advert on for a little bit, and you might hear us having a coffee. But yeah, we're happy to stay live and answer any questions or talk about anything. But anyway, Hampton Richmond Borough on the attack. And Nathan Minas, that's a great. Well,
tell you what, he's caught that.
He's caught that. It's over a tackle.
I don't think the ref or the lino actually
knew what was going on.
The lino hasn't even flagged on that. Said.
Yeah.
The referee, I think, has given a corner.
It has gone for a corner, because what Nathan Minas has done there has gone in really strong.
Well, he's gone in
it's gone for a tackle. It's a tackle / a shot / a cross. All 3 of those things.
Yeah.
And it means that Hampton Richmond Borough have got a 6th corner now, maybe 7th. I might have missed the last one, but Karen Farrell with the ball into the box. It's very easily cleared by the number 10. To be fair, our corners haven't been that bad. That's the worst one of the lot, I don't think. We've asked questions of every corner, not that one, and we've given the ball to Eastbourne Borough, and they're on the attack again, and Greg Law is going to try and go through and Dean Inman let that drop, which I thought at first wasn't the right decision, but Dean Inman knows better at setting defending than me, so it was the right decision, and he's cleared with purpose. Well done, Dean Inman. Yeah, ignore the silly fella in the woolly hat at halfway line who's 40 years old, and you know a bit more than me about setting defending. But yeah, anyway, Nathan Minas, who's played, I would argue, that's been Hampton and Richmond Borough's best player in the final 5, maybe.
He's looked sharp up top.
He's looked sharp.
Yeah.
He needs more support from the players around him, I think. And Carvalho's looked sharp.
Carvalho's looked sharp. Farrell's had a good game at left back. Minas has looked good.
And that's the full time, half time. At least it's if you're a Hampton and Richmond Borough fan, you're glad it's not full time whistle. Sorry. So what's happening now is that the players are going off, but Matt, I think if you're a Hampton and Richmond Borough fan, you're going to be slightly disappointed with the performance there, and the fact that we're 1-0 down, of course.
Yeah,
but
I think
Eastbourne Borough, I have to say, have looked sharp and they've looked
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
Also looked good defensively. The keeper's pulled off a couple of good saves. So I would say that Eastbourne Borough have slightly nudged that.
I would agree, Seb. I would say that 1-0 Eastbourne is an accurate reflection of that first half. I think both sides had some good opportunities. They for sure, Eastbourne, I think, shaded it. It was the midfield for me. Seb, Eastbourne won a lot of the headers, a lot of the tackles, sprayed the ball out to the wings, and the amount of time, I lost count how many times they broke with pace, and they were pretty frightening, to be honest.
Yeah, they were.
And really rattling the Hampton defence. I mean, for me, Minas at the top, he looked a little bit exposed, I would say. By and large,
he needs a little bit more support.
He needs more.
Only because he's back to goal and he's got the two good centre defenders. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you get, I suppose. I mean, you're only playing one up top. You've got Muir behind, but you've got two very competent wingers in Carvalho and Coleman. That I'd have liked to have seen them push up a bit more. Coleman was often sort of going back rather than going forward.
Yeah.
But plenty of positives. But I think on the whole, I think Eastbourne just shaded that, and I think they go into the half-time interval as deserved.
I think so. I think so. I think Hampton Richmond certainly have had their chances, and we're going to have a quick word from our sponsors. Our main club sponsor is FOTMob. And they are, if you don't know of them, you should. They are the essential app for match day, and they're extreme. Not only are they great supporters of just Hampton and Richmond Borough, they're supporters of non-league football. They sponsor the teams of the week in the non-league paper as well. And knowing Kurt and Bill and all the guys there, they're a Norwegian. Yeah, they are really good guys. But we are We are going to have a word from our sponsors and one of the FOTMob and Mundial. Thanks very much.
We tell stories that matter.
You're listening to
We know what makes fans tick.
The whole team is supported by the whole town.
We know it's about dedication, about history, about community. Here, there, and everywhere.
It's going down.
Sometimes it's about boots. Sometimes it's about clothes. Sometimes it's just about getting away. We know what they watch. We know where they go. We know what they love. We know it's not always easy connecting with fans, but we know how to help. And we know because that's what we are. Fans.
Right then, Matt. Matt's got the eclairs out at the moment, but we are on that camera up there, Matt. So
right there, are we?
Yeah, let's look up there. So,
very good.
Yeah, so we just had a few questions. Well, stick some questions in chat or anything like that, and we'll try and answer them if we can. I mean, it depends what sort of questions they are. Please, nothing rude, obviously. But shout out to Tamer here, who said it's nice to watch the team you manage in Football Manager 20. Hopefully that team is Hampton and Richmond Borough, but if it's Eastbourne Borough as well, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We're a friendly bunch here, but. I think we won't talk too much about the match so far. I think we've obviously spoke about that during the game, haven't we? But it's if you are new to non-league football and new to the National League South, I think hopefully you've seen a decent game there, and you've seen a decent game of football, and certainly good play from Eastbourne Borough, more from Eastbourne Borough than Hampton and Richmond. maybe, because let's not forget Hampton Richmond had a couple of chances, but sometimes we can be a bit hard on Hampton Richmond because as fans, don't we, Matt? You know, we found that the other day. As fans,
it's difficult not to sort of slip into sort of fan mode.
Exactly, and of course, if you are seeing this, however you found us, always follow. The best place to follow for all the up-to-minute information about Hampton Richmond Borough is our Twitter feed, Facebook. What else have we got? Instagram. We've got Instagram. Of course, we've got Instagram. Cool. And we've got this YouTube channel. And yeah, it's great. It's great to have it. And again, if you, again, if you want to donate, obviously hrbfc.live and our donation page is on there. Someone's asked a great question about Sam Cox. Actually, I think he is here tonight. We were hoping to get hold of him. I don't think he's too far away, Sam Cox. Fortunately, because obviously any team is better with Sam Cox in it, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Sorry, I've just clocked a certain Alec Barry.
Oh, okay. We'll worry about that one in a minute.
We'll come to that in a minute. Alec Barry is well known on the terraces.
No, he is, and again, talking to fans, and he would be, if you've ever been to a Hampton Richmond game, or if you haven't, Alec Barry will quite often be the voice that you will hear echoing across this amazing stadium, and also away stadiums. Sometimes falling over railings at away stadiums as well.
Times,
he hurt himself, didn't he? Yeah. But sorry, just going back to Sam Cox. Obviously, Mark is working closely with him. I think. We are a couple of weeks away from seeing him back, I think, in truth be told. Obviously, anyone who knows Sam Cox, anyone knows him, knows how fit he is and how athletic he is. So,
I know Mark Finley is being pretty cautious with him.
Yes.
I think Sam is eager to get back, as most players are, but Mark Finley, our physio, does not want to rush him back. I mean, clearly we've had a bad injury to Wasma. Luke, as you mentioned on comms, said had a great game on Saturday with Ruddock, but we can't rush him back. Tyrone Miller-Rodney is suspended.
Back on Saturday,
which is going to be a welcome return for Tyrell. But I think we probably need Sam. I think it's fair to say, but rushing him back too soon is it could actually end up being a bit of a mistake. So we just need to.
Yeah, I think that's the case, and I think as any player wants to get back on that pitch, and I think Sam probably wants to get on the pitch quicker than Mark Finley. I say this with some semblance of knowledge. I might not be 100% correct, but that's the way I've seen it from behind the scenes and the like. But
Alec Barry's question about can we speak any foreign languages? I think we'll both say no.
No. Depends how many pints we've had.
Ollie Osborne, he asks, which National League South players have impressed you most from opposition clubs so far this season?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I mean, anyone that listened to the stream for the Dartford game will know that I had a crush on, shall we say, Tom Bonner.
Yeah, Bonner was good.
Bonner was fantastic. When him and Charlie Wasson were meeting.
Who was the fella for St Albans that when we commented on? We couldn't say.
We couldn't say his name. He scored the goal against us, but he was brilliant.
Was he there
number 8? Number 8. He was the best. He was the best player. I would say for
he was great. He was
Hemel the other day. Was it Jacob Cook, the number 11 for them?
No, Jacob Cook was the second midfielder got injured. It was Reggie Young.
Reggie Young. Yeah, that's it.
The sort of tricky, pretty small, nippy right winger. He looked pretty good.
I think on this evidence, though, I would say Greg Lure, Charlie Walker, and probably James Ferry have been as good as anyone I've seen so far this season, and that's why Eastbourne Borough 1-0 up.
Yeah, you've had. I mean, Charlie Kendall. Did you say Charlie Kendall?
I said Charlie Walker, but Charlie Kendall as well. Yeah,
looked good as well. To be honest with you, and he said to be fair. Then
you needed it. Yeah. But yeah, if you are following our Twitter feed tonight, we've also posting. I mean, you are watching a live stream of the game, but there are live pictures being posted on our Twitter feed of from our cameraman Jed Lester, who's stepping in for our usual club photographer Thomas Lang, who is unfortunately having to self-isolate, and we wish him. Well, he's fine, so we don't know. We hope that he doesn't get any symptoms, but we can never be too careful.
You've got someone here that's watching their boy playing for Eastbourne Borough.
Brilliant.
And this live stream. So Mean Lottie is the.
Well, we know that Dean Inman's parents always watch this and that, and it's great, and that's exactly why we do it.
This is the fact that they're able to watch their son, play football, and the fact that we're able to bring this to their living rooms is what makes it all worthwhile for me.
Yeah, and if you can, and if you want to, obviously, please donate at hrbfc.live. As I said, this will go into the equipment you can see on the camera now, these mics and all these things. These are all passed on from various people or people's own equipment, and anything we can do to make this better. And I'd love to show replays. Let's be honest. I'd love to show replays.
Replays would be good. We're quite fortunate because we've got obviously live there, and I've got the YouTube stream in front of me, and we can. It's about what is it?
There's a delay, of course.
There's a bit of a delay, so we are able to look at it. But yeah, I mean, one of the negative things about watching football live is that you don't see the replay, but. If you're watching it at home, I can imagine it to be relatively frustrating to not see it.
Someone did make the good point, actually. You can spin back on the stream. Obviously, if you go on the page, yes, you can stream, move backwards.
Right.
Okay, apologies. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work, so maybe don't try that. Yeah.
Maybe don't try that.
Again...
Nuabuke, was that was the...
Yes.
That was the St Albans there. Thanks,
Honestly, we tried saying this so many times on the night.
Nuabuke.
Yeah, and he was brilliant. I would say he's the best player I've seen, apart from Tom Bonner, in my opinion.
He did look good.
But... so it's full credit to as well. Again, this is all volunteer. We got Archie up in the camera and Archie's dad that's helped us out loads. Jason and Dave Reese. It's what non-league football clubs are all about. Volunteers. We aren't unique in that. All non-league football clubs exist on their volunteers, don't they?
We've got a lovely message here from David Reed. Season ticket holder for many years. Moved up north. Unfortunately for Dave, loving these broadcasts. My heart will always be at the Beveree.
That's lovely to hear.
Friendliest club in the country.
Well, lovely. I mean, we are a very friendly club.
We
pride ourselves on that. Absolutely, yeah.
We are a friendly club, and it's incredibly important that you've got guys like this that are continuing to support the Beavers.
Yeah, absolutely, and and we will be doing this for the foreseeable. We will be doing this for free, and we'll be, let's just not forget this time. No, week on Saturday, we will be here at the Beveree. Hopefully this Saturday it might change because of TVs or whatever, but we will be here for an FA Cup first round game against Oldham. It was absolutely packed and it was jam-packed and it was a beautiful and a lovely night the first time we played them 2 years ago.
Similar to tonight, actually.
In terms of conditions and the Beveree looks great under the lights. People have mentioned the trees. It just looks great. I love this ground. I love it at night, and the floodlights. But we've got Oldham in the FA Cup here, for goodness sake. I mean... Matt, what was your initial thoughts about that when that came out?
Well, I mean, it was absolutely extraordinary. I mean, not only was it extraordinary that we've obviously got Oldham in the first round again, but we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that we played Hornchurch in the fourth qualifying round of that exact same cup run 2 seasons ago. So to have 2 of the same teams in succession is quite extraordinary. I'd love to know what the odds were on that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, as Jacques was saying in your interview before the game, Steph, I mean. Any tie like that, I mean, Oldham League 2 side, an ex-Premier League side.
I mean, when you were little, they were in the Premier League.
Oh, well, Ian Marshall, was it
Ian Marshall? All those good players,
With his curly barn, it was brilliant. But
Joe Royal and all that,
they're a good side, and I think that it is. I don't want to labour the point, but it is such a shame. That we can't have fans.
I've had at least 5, 6, 7 emails to my account, to the media account, saying, well, how can I get tickets? You can't get tickets. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry. There's no fans at any FA Cup first round game. There's one game between Banbury and Canbury Island, which was a league game, which could be a league game, and they'd have fans allowed. They would have fans allowed there, but they're not because it's FA Cup. And I understand that because there should be one blanket rule and integrity of the competition and all that. But
all that's keeping me going is, and as I'm sure we got 450 odd people watching this right now, is that it is not forever.
It's not forever.
We will be back in the grounds at some point. Whether it's this season, if it's this season, great. If it's next season, then so be it. But we will all be back at some point. We've just got to all savour that thought and not get too down about it, really, because it is. I nearly swore then. It is. You know what?
I know what you're going to. Well, and again, Matt, we never shy away from how lucky we are to be sat here watching some football and calling home. We never shy away from that.
It is great to be here.
Yeah.
But I think I said it earlier on. It's very, very eerie and it's quiet. It's got the feel of a. I mean, Gary's even. I think he said it last week. I mean, he said that he should never underestimate the impact that fans have on a game, and the management team, they miss all the fans, and obviously we miss watching the team. So the feeling is very much mutual.
Right, I'm going to mention something here that's on the comments, which I didn't realise until now, and has really upset me.
Which one are we on?
Lemmy Winksome has basically said. There are currently 373 teams in the top 18 divisions of English football. Only 2 haven't scored a league goal so far. Beavers are one of them. Oh no, that's really upset me.
Really?
We're going to have to make that change. Anyway, the players are coming out for their pitch. Thank you very much, Lem Winksome, or however you say that. Whatever your username is. You've upset me now.
You owe Blackpool John a bottle by looking.
Yeah, sounds like it. But anyway, the players are coming out, and we're going to go to another advert. But thanks very much for Archie for pointing the camera down here, and now they're going to point it to a lot more important people now.
We tell stories that matter.
You're listening to Joe.
We know what makes fans tick.
The whole team is supported by the whole town.
We know it's about dedication, about history, about community. Here, there, and everywhere.
It's going down.
Sometimes it's about boots. Sometimes it's about clothes. And sometimes it's just about getting away. We know what they watch. We know where they go. We know what they love. We know it's not always easy connecting with fans, but we know how to help. And we know because that's what we are. Fans.
Right, thank you very much. That was a word from our sponsors. But yes, we are live again for the second half of Eastbourne Borough versus Hampton and Richmond Borough in what some people are calling the Battle of the Boroughs. It's fair to say that Eastbourne had the upper hand in the first half, and not just in terms of score, but also possession, I would say, and inventiveness, shall we say. But anyway, Eastbourne Borough winning 1-0, and the second half has kicked off. Matt, what were you? I imagine that Gary has had a word in the dressing room again.
Yeah.
Not the worst performance in the world. Let's not get too downhearted, but also we know we can be better, can't we?
We know we can be better, but we shouldn't take any credit away from the quality of Eastbourne's performance, I'd say. I mean, we definitely can play better. There's no doubt about that. But we're up against strong opposition tonight, and Eastbourne have looked good. So if Hampton are going to turn this game around, it's going to take a real. We've got to find another gear, if not two, to turn this over. But it's a big 45 minutes ahead for both teams here.
Oh, it is, yeah. Time. So time is what Sam Deadfield was saying to Christian Smith there. No need to rush. Maybe we were snatching at things a little bit.
We were definitely doing that.
You do that when you are behind. That's a lovely ball from Nathan Minas, but also great from Nathan Minas to come and claim it. Anyway, Nico Muir tries to thread the ball through, but it doesn't quite happen. But Nathan Minas has retrieved the ball, and I tell you what, once again, he's not stopped Nathan Minas. Fair play. Razak Coleman with a header towards the post, but it's landed and it's going to go for a corner. That's Nathan Minas. I tell you what, take a bow again, Nathan Minas. You've been the Hampton Richmond's best player again, and I tell you what, he does not stop, does he?
He doesn't. That's what I used to love about Orsi Dadamo at the top. He just carried on. He just ran his socks off. And that's exactly what Minas is doing. And when you've got someone like Nico Muir behind you, then there's goals there.
Yeah. Well, you hope so, but it looks like Dean Inman was going to connect with that. But yes, there is goals there. But as someone pointed out in the comments there, there's only 373 teams in the top, I think it was 18 divisions. And at the moment, there's only 2 teams that haven't scored, and one of them is the Beavers, unfortunately. But
I'd love to know who the other one is, actually.
Yeah, if you can put that in the comments, we'll mention that, so we aren't just saying it. But anyway, Greg Lure's right in front of us here, Matt. Looked very impressive.
He's
attacker, and he did extremely well in that game.
He did. I like his movement. He looks good. He's got a great touch, and we mentioned it before. When he was with Woking, he looked sharp, and there's some good individual players in the Eastbourne. It's no surprise that they're a solid outfit. I mean, you only got to look at their team sheet.
That's a good tackle. I mean, it's the young lad again, and he's still got the ball. He's done extremely well. It's a miscontrol, and the ball's thread through, and it looked. The ball was bobbing about. Actually, I wouldn't say it was a miscontrol from Chris Smith. He was trying to get it clear, but
Dean
opportunity there for Eastbourne Borough.
Yeah, it was great. It was great play by Woolard Innocent and Dean Inman with a great tackle.
Sam Deadfield attacking quickly towards Nathan Minas. That's a nice ball, that is. Nathan Minas down to the byline, tries to cut it in. Is he going to go for goal? He's done extremely well. So strong there from Nathan Minas. Laid it back to Wilson Carvalho, but straight away Eastbourne were on them, and we've had to retreat a little bit, but that's good football from Hampton there. Nice interchange of passes, and now we've got Nico Muir, who's going to try and set Rene Steer free, and he does. Rene Steer across the goal, it just gets it doesn't hit the first man, maybe the second man actually in Rene's defence, but Hampton and Richmond Borough on the attack now, and Nico Muir again, just doing those lovely little passes. And Wilson Carvalho on the right-hand side. That's a lovely ball in the box, but it's well headed away by Eastbourne Borough. And look at Greg Lure doing some defending back there and trying to restart the Eastbourne Borough move. I tell you, it's a foul, but just look at Greg Lure there, But what a ball that was from Wilson Carvalho.
Yeah, it was good.
It was well defended. Don't get me wrong, but he's put that right where he should do and where he needed to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good play by Carvalho. I've been impressed with him again today. Obviously, we saw a brief glimpse of him. Yeah, definitely.
Karen Farrell, has he gone for goal there?
That definitely wasn't very bright, but
it's ended up in the keeper's hands. It didn't ever look at any point like it was going to necessarily trouble him. It wasn't like the other day at the wind at Hemel. The wind was crazy.
Yeah, that was.
There's not a wind here, is there? There's not a breath of wind here, but so we weren't going to catch a keeper out there. That's good play from the number 11, Charlie Kendall, not Charlie Walker, and Eastbourne again.
Good turn of pace by Lure.
And Jake Gray's going to recover that. Jake Gray defending from deep there. Probably not where you want Jake Gray in an ideal world, but that's the nature of the business at the moment with Eastbourne Borough pegging them back. Lovely ball. That's a great header, but only as far to the number 9 from Eastbourne Borough side. My team sheet is obscured by the chocolate eclair, so I couldn't tell you who it was. No, it's fine. Greg Lure, of course.
It was.
Greg Lure.
Yeah, he's just snatched it. Actually, unlike him.
Yeah, he has actually. But look at that play from number 4, James Ferry. That was a decent, simple, controlled header, and they started again. And he's won the ball back. Well, he did until Wilson Carvalho tackled him. That's nice. And Wilson Carvalho's looking more lively here, and he's
well played.
Tell you what, he's looking sharp.
Yeah,
he's growing into this a bit more. And let's not forget that Wilson Carvalho has hardly had any football. He signed from Macclesfield. Then obviously the Macclesfield problems happened, and he hasn't had a club. He hasn't been training properly. I think Gary said the other day, for a number of weeks. So he's playing catch up a little bit. He's fit. There's no doubt about it. But I think anyone that's been part of it, not just this team, not just Hampton Richmond team, but I'm sure it's Eastbourne Borough. These players, and again, if you are new to National League South and non-league football, these players are fit. None of these players are coming back from pre-season to get fit. They're coming back in pre-season to get fitter, because these are athletes. These are athletes. I don't care what anyone says. They might not be full-time, but these players, are fit as anything. It will take time for Wilson Carvalho to really hit get to that match fitness and sharpness, but he's looking well. If he does, then he'll get better. Look at Nathan Minas there. I mean, what battling along the line. It's just a thankless task, isn't it? But yeah, if you are just joining us, I think it's someone said it's Braintree that hasn't scored. Obviously, Braintree brings me out in a cold sweat given their playoff victory.
Let's move on from that topic.
But yes, we do need to rectify that and rectify that sharply. It's not a stat that we want to be part of. Let's be brutally honest. And the annoying thing is, it's not like we've not been creating chances. Wilson Carvalho trying to create one as we say that. We just not. Yeah, Karen Farrell looked like he was going to size up and shoot. Jake Gray looked like he was going to size up and shoot. He might just do now. It's a shot, and it's another good save low down from the Eastbourne Borough keeper, Ravizoli, who's made 3 good low saves. It's good football from Hampton. They waited and waited for the opportunity, and Jake Gray took the opportunity, but well matched by Eastbourne Borough.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Sarah, and it's interesting. We touched on it in the opening few seconds. You could tell, we don't look quite so rushed. We're knocking the ball around. We're doing so in a pretty measured fashion, and we're biding our time. And it's certainly a less frantic start to the second half, which is good. I mean, Dean,
textbook centre defender. Tries to put the ball through to Nathan Minas, but he was always running behind, and it looked like he probably would have conceded a foul there. Let's be honest. But that was a good play from Dean Inman, and Hampton and Richmond Borough coming back into this, and they need to because they're 1-0 down. So may have dropped in a rogue TBF there, Matt. But who am I to say?
It's worrying. I'm not even noticing him anymore. That's the worrying thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, Mr. Baker is. Mr. Baker.
Yeah,
is not
Mr. Baker.
letting this go.
No. Mr. Baker from our dear sponsors, FOTMob, really is getting his teeth
all the
into
way in Bergen, which is a beautiful place from all the pictures I see on Kurt's Instagram. And Kurt, obviously living in Norway, a country that actually knows how to run its government. And sorry, I shouldn't. I'm not going down that neck of the woods. No, but Norway. Kurt's able to go and watch football is what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way. So, and it looks brilliant. So follow Kurt Baker on Instagram for lovely shots of football in Norway, and it just looks lovely. But anyway, another place where it looks lovely is the Beveree Stadium on a night like this. The floodlights are shining, the trees they're not glistening because but hopefully I'm trying to paint a picture here extremely badly, Matt. Rescue me here. Rescue me.
Yeah, sorry, I've nearly fallen asleep there. So.
Stan Curd is asking who is playing alongside Dean Inman at the back, and that's a lovely ball from Dean Inman towards Nathan Minhas. Great touch from Nathan Minhas, but that's not a good touch from Razak Coleman. You can hear Razak Coleman's frustration in his voice, but Nathan Minhas touched there. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
But here we are again.
Coleman's got to do better there, so.
What I meant to say was Eastbourne alongside is Christian Smith alongside Dean Inman in the centre of defence for Hampton and Richmond tonight. But here we are, and you'll have to be alive to this because Eastbourne Borough have nearly fashioned another chance. Greg Lurd, lovely football
block,
again.
Dean Inman,
and it's a lovely cross from Dean Cox, and that's a lovely goal. And it's a lovely. I'll tell you what, Matt, you have to hold your hands up sometimes and say Greg Lur's done brilliant. He's passed the ball out to Dean Cox, who's put a delicious crossing, and then it's a lovely Charlie Walker again has come off his man and has headed it into the corner. Absolutely credit where it's due. Eastbourne Borough have done Hampton and Richmond Borough there. I think it looks like Christian Smith.
He stepped off his man there, and he stepped off his man. He's got effectively got a free header, and he's taken advantage of that. And it's disappointing for Hampton actually because we started the second half pretty well. I thought with the good a good bit of impetus behind us, but that's a shame. We're just going to make sure that that doesn't knock the wind out of our sails too much now because we've still got a long way to go.
There's a long way to go,
and a goal for Hampton now, and the game.
35 minutes left, but Hampton and Richmond Borough have got a lot to do to get back into this game. And I'll be honest, Eastbourne Borough when they go forward are always looking dangerous.
Yeah, they are.
And fair play to them. It's a lovely, nice long ball again from Dean Inman. But Eastbourne Borough 2-0 up here at the Beveree Stadium. The visitors, I have to say, deserve their advantage. Maybe not the 2-goal advantage. They certainly have, I would argue, have been the more composed and the more effective team. There's no doubt about it.
They've been far more clinical up top as well.
We've had some nice chances. Don't get me wrong. We've had some territory up there. We've had some nice interplay, but Eastbourne Borough, I think, at the moment, deservedly ahead. And to be honest, looking good every time they go forward. Like I said, to be honest, it's like to be fair, isn't it? But anyway, Dean Inman's going to have to try and stop Charlie Walker, who's looking for a hat-trick now. It's Charlie Walker, don't forget. Looking for a hat-trick now, or is on a hat-trick, and that's well played and well cleared by Dean Inman towards Razak Coleman. Needs to be stronger there, Razak Coleman. I think that's a good tackle from Sam Devlin.
He's got the ball there.
He's got the ball. I don't think that says. I think Eastbourne Borough are looking for a red card here. I don't think that's the case.
He's got the ball.
That's a genuine attempt.
Yeah, he's got the ball.
For the ball, and he may, I think it's a yellow card at best. I think he may have caught him, but anyway, I know there are some Blackpool fans that are joining us tonight because Blackpool have been drawn away to Eastbourne Borough, and I'll tell you what, if Eastbourne Borough play like this, then there'll be a match for anyone, even a team, a couple of leagues above. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. So, just going back to that foul, I think it was a genuine attempt for the ball by Sam Deadfield. I think it would be a very, very harsh sending off I think by now, so it's a yellow.
Yeah, he has got a yellow card. I think that's the right decision, Des. I mean, the comments in this are studs up and follow through. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from where...
I don't think there's any doubt there was a follow through. I just don't think there was quite...
It didn't look... I mean, obviously we saw it, live here in sort of live play. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a foul. I think it would have been a harsh red personally, but football is a game of opinions.
Absolutely. Yeah. But if you are, maybe you are just joining us. If you are just joining us, Eastbourne Borough are very much on top here in the Battle of the Boroughs. They are 2-0 ahead, and they've got a free kick, and it's Charlie Walker who's going to go for goal here on a hat trick. He's not scored.
That's gone into row Z.
It's gone into row Z. We haven't even got a row Z at Hampton.
No, sorry, probably about row G.
But yes, Charlie Walker, why not? I mean, he's been on fire tonight.
Yeah,
he's
looked good. I mean, the quintet up top for Eastbourne have looked sharp.
They've looked very good.
And you've got the midfield partnership of Ferry and Hammond look incredibly solid.
Yeah, and let's not forget, great goalkeeping, and this has been a really good team performance from Eastbourne Borough, I have to say.
Just as I say that, I think was that Ferry that just won that?
Yeah, Ferry won. Yeah. So Hampton and Richmond Borough, the Beavers have got a lot to do. There's just over half an hour left of this game, and the Beavers have got a lot to do. And I thought the ball was heading towards us at the moment. With all this equipment here, I was getting a bit concerned. But there's one player that won't give up for Hampton and Richmond Borough, and that's Nathan Minhas.
He looks injured there, Seb.
No, I think
he's really hurt himself down there.
I think there was a
looked like some
impact injury. I think it was.
Yeah, he's gone down.
And Mark Finley is going to have to come on here for.
I think he might have twisted his ankle there.
He looks like. Yeah, he's looking very ginger. We don't want to have this again after Charlie Wassmer's misfortune on Saturday.
I don't think this looks particularly good.
No, I don't think it looks good. Nathan Minhas, if you don't know, his day job is a fitness instructor. I think he's twisted something here.
Yeah.
It might be one of those ones that you can run off, but it also might not be. And I tell you what, we do not need an immobile Nathan Minhas.
It looked like a very innocuous tackle.
No, I think it was a genuine. That's Craig Lure has just done some fantastic play, and they're on the attack once again, Eastbourne Borough here, and that's not a bad cross at all, but it's well defended by Jake Gray and Razak Coleman. But again, look at that mopping up from. I mean, I know we're still on the attack, but it goes to show Razak Coleman's still on the attack here. It looks like Nathan Minhas will come back on here.
Yeah,
it's one of those ones that. Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
Perhaps he can run that off, Seb.
Yeah, I was a bit concerned for a while, but anyway. Hampton and Richmond Borough on the attack. The Beavers need a goal to get back into this game. And if they score, it'll be their first league goal of the season. And it needs to be honest, because with Oxford City away on Saturday, they're in good form themselves. We're going to need to... blimey. He's just absolutely... Charlie Walker has absolutely leathered the ball into the face of his teammate, James Ferry. It was totally innocent. He was trying to clear the ball, but
I think he's okay.
He's absolutely leathered it into him. I'm surprised. Yeah, I mean, it might have been his face or chest area, but he did not... watching it back. Yeah, look, you can see it.
To be honest, the way that fella has played today, there's going to be nothing stopping him.
No, and to be fair, look at him. He's straight up. He's straight up. He's up and at him. And Eastbourne Borough once again on the attack. Dean and header. I mean, Alan Julian's not had much to do, if I'm honest. And the two goals he could have. The two goals he put in the corner both times so well that I think, again. Charlie Walker, a player of his quality, has had time and space on both occasions to either drill it in or head it in. I mean, it's a love. We are diagonally in line of him rising up and just, it's a nice header.
Yeah, he's done well.
Nice header.
It's actually a very valid point you raised there, Seb. I mean, Alan Julian has had to do very, very little in this game. Despite the sort of the very, very good play and the dominance of Eastbourne at large patches of this game. Their keeper has actually made...
And the ball swings in, and Kyron Farrell's going to have to head it, and he only heads it across towards the diminutive, the dominant. That's a great... I just said that Alan Julian had to make a save.
There you go.
He had to make
he
a
has
save
now.
there. That's a great save. Yeah. A great shot from Eastbourne Borough. I didn't quite catch who shot. I think it was James Ferry. Yeah. But very nearly... It had to be good, otherwise it would have been 3-0 Eastbourne Borough, and you would imagine that Hampton and Richmond Borough would have been out of sight.
He's got to do better than that, Carvalho.
There in the centre midfield. And Eastbourne Borough are going to take that, but Kyron Farrell, good header there, and Nico Muir trying to make something.
Well done, Nico.
Nico Muir has tried to get set down Deadfield free, but it's only towards Jake Gray, and come on Beavers. Jake Gray is going to try and make something happen here. He's going to have to lay the ball back towards Sam Deadfield, who again will try and make something happen. Rene Steer is free, it looks, but there's a bit of interplay now between Gray and Deadfield. And now Rene Steer does receive the ball and Deadfield. But again, Eastbourne have trapped back, defending extremely well, and the ball goes into the Hampton Eastbourne Borough box. And that's Jake Gray's going to go for a shot, but it's going to go over. And
I think we might be poised for a substitution here.
Yeah, it looks like Danny Bassett's going to come on here. I'll be honest. I
was going to say Coleman. Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe Carvalho, given that he's obviously
not played as much football
yet. But one of those two, I suspect, will be departing very shortly.
Yeah, we shall see. The board, I can see the flashy board, I can see the lights beaming on our goalkeeping coach Dave Smalley, as well as goalkeeping coach. His job is to put the bright flashy board up and tell us who's coming on, and we'll find out in a minute.
Well up, Jake Gray.
Who that is. But Jake Gray's won that header there, and time is ticking away here for Hampton and Richmond Borough to get back into this game, and the substitution will be made, and it's going to be Nathan Minhas. And to be fair, he is ginger.
He's not been able to run that off, unfortunately. You can tell by the way he's sort of labouring off the pitch there, which is a shame. He's been in the wars a little bit.
I think he's been
in the time with us, hasn't he? He's been in the wars during his time with us.
I mean, a couple of games in pre-season he got flattened around the face.
I mean the Hornchurch game, he was
suspected he might have broken his jaw against Hornchurch. But I have to say, I think for me, Hampton Richmond's best player has been Nathan Minhas. And
he's had a good game. Yeah.
Oh, you almost say that with, I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Who would you say?
What, for Hampton?
Yeah, I think he's run his socks off and tried to
I think you know what I'm going to say, because I say the same player pretty much every week.
Go on. I don't actually know.
Dean Inman.
Well, yes, yeah. But then I suppose...
I mean, the linesman, you can play on there. That was you want your officials to be letting the game flow, and to pull that back was a bit silly.
I'll be honest, I haven't had too much to complain about with the ref. I'm having a sweet one. I haven't had seen too much.
No, the refs. The officials have actually officiated this well.
He hasn't influenced the game in a negative way in the decision he's made. Jake Gray with the ball now. Hampton and Richmond Borough really need to get a goal here to get back into this game if they are going to, but not if they play passes like that, unfortunately. I think, knowing Gary as I do, and I hope I don't not speaking out of turn, I think he'll be justifiably disappointed with.
He'll be really annoyed with both. I mean, what manager's not annoyed when you see the goal? But both those goals were avoidable.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. Good play by Bassett there.
Good play. The second one by 3 players, but at no point did Hampton and Richmond Borough influence those plays.
No, agreed.
Which was unfortunate.
Cries from Gary there. Movement.
Yeah. But I mean, one thing I will say is Eastbourne is starting to sit a bit deeper, and if Hampton and Richmond Borough can unlock this, then we know, and as I say that's a great shot from Razak Coleman, and it goes in. Yes. Great goal for the Beavers. It was Razak Coleman, wasn't it? He got the ball on the edge of the box, he turned and he put that in as much of the corner as you could, so much so it hit the post and has bounced in.
Superb goal from Coleman there.
Well done, Razak Coleman. Well done.
I mean, he's
it looked like it might bounce back out again, but it bounced in, and that's Hampton and Richmond Borough's first league goal of the season. we're back in this to an extent. We have to get another one because Eastbourne Borough are winning this 2-1.
Well, if ever there was a time to get to pull one back, Seb, it was right now.
Yeah,
20 odd minutes
but
to play.
Look straight away. Eastbourne Borough are not,
Yeah, they're not lying down on this game.
Absolutely not. And look at them. They're stretching the play again, and Dean Inman's having to be Dean Inman. And look at the number 4, James Ferry.
Ferry's looked. I mean, everything's gone through him. He's mopped everything up this game so far. He's the playmaker in the middle of the park. Been very impressed with his play, I have to say.
Yeah, and again, look at that. But Charlie Walker's finding space every time. Deflected. It looked like it might go in, and it might be.
From here, I thought it was.
Yeah, it looked like it deflected in a way. But anyway, Hampton and Richmond Borough with 22 minutes left. I've pulled a goal back, and it's 2-1. I only were a goal behind.
At least we've got that goal, so we're not in that statistic.
Sam Deadfield's, and that's a late tackle.
That's a late tackle there.
We didn't see that because I was looking at the ball getting released.
I did see it, Seb, and for me it was. If it's not, no, it wasn't as bad as Sam's. If it's not a yellow, I'd be surprised, but it wasn't as bad as Sam Deadfield's earlier on.
Watching it back, there's a slight delay on the feed, so you can see.
It was late. But
it wasn't a bad ball though from Sam Deadfield to try and set Wilson Carvalho alive.
Yeah, it was a little bit of afters. I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't necessarily put it as innocuous, but the referee's always going to give that.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And yeah, if you can and want to donate to the stream, because obviously it's free, but if you can and want to donate, then hrbfc.live. Kyron Farrell with the ball in towards the box, and Dean Inman's on the far post here. Back across goal. But the keeper has got down low again, and he's done that a number of times this game, the Eastbourne keeper. And
yeah, he's mopped up a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, the goal was definitely put some fire in the Hampton and Richmond Borough bellies. And in the battle of the boroughs at the moment, in the last few minutes, Hampton and Richmond Borough are stirring. They need to, because they're 2-1 down here. Good header from Christian Smith there, strong header.
I'm sure Gary McCann will want nothing more than to see his 100th game in charge of Hampton.
I can't believe
win.
You've not mentioned that.
With a win. Yeah,
it's Gary McCann's 100th game.
100th game in charge of Hampton Richmond Borough. He's I do believe, one of only 11 Hampton players to reach that milestone. For those statistics, for those people who like a statistic, there you go. He's won 37, drawn 22, lost 40 of the 99 games he's been in charge of Hampton so far.
Yeah.
So that's a good achievement.
While Matt was rightly paying tribute to Gary McCann's reign so far, Eastbourne Borough have made a substitution. Our friend Greg Lure's gone off, which I'm not going to complain about.
No, I won't be complaining about that.
And number 14, Joel Rollinson's come on. But yes, once again, Eastbourne Borough finding the outlet, and that's the Jake Gray's done well. I thought he'd run the ball, but he hasn't, and that's a great strike from the number 11 Charlie Kendall, and he's had to make a good save there, Alan Julian. And look, they do really attack, don't they?
Yeah,
they really attack with accuracy and efficiency almost. They're really impressive, and Charlie Walker brings out another save from Alan Julian, and that, tell you what, as much as Hampton and Richmond Borough have been knocking on the door a little bit more in the last few minutes, we cannot go to sleep with this Eastbourne team. And Dean Emmons tried to find Nico Muir, and he hasn't. It's well cleared by the Eastbourne defence, and again they can start another attack, and to be honest, I'd rather they didn't, because from a Hampton and Richmond Borough perspective. And that's good. Again, that's really good. I tell you what, been extremely impressed, and like I said, Eastbourne have got Blackpool at home in a week's time in the FA Cup. Oh, and I thought that might have hit Danny Bassett, but the keeper has got away with that a little bit there. But yeah, I'll be honest, Eastbourne Borough play like this, they'll be a good match for any team. And as I say that, and do you know what, we made a mistake earlier on. Greg Lure's just gone over to the other side. He hasn't been substituted.
Oh right, okay.
Just realising that now as he's powering through on the left wing. Apologies.
It did look like he was going off. He jogged over there.
He did.
When the sub came on.
So Anyway, Danny Bassett's got the ball. Greg Lure's definitely on the pitch. I'll try and work out in a minute which one for Dean Cox has gone off. Thank you very much, Jim Stewart, for providing the information wherever you are.
Thanks,
we obviously
Jim.
should be able to keep up with that. We're actually a lot closer than you. Thank you. He definitely was walking over there, wasn't he?
He was definitely walking over.
He was right in front. He's been right in front of us the whole time, but. Yeah, he is still on the pitch, which, from a Hampton and Richmond Borough perspective, I'm a bit annoyed because he's really good. But As was Dean Cox, to be fair. Every time he,
Yeah, Cox looked good today.
a player of that quality.
Yeah.
You know, he's
I remember seeing him
well,
once playing
he's
for
bought-
Orient, and he was very good.
The ball for the second goal is just textbook, isn't it? It's just a great goal. Oh yeah, it looks like. We're just having a bit of word. It looks like it's definitely a knee injury from Nathan Minhas. He rolled his knee, unfortunately. Hopefully that's nothing too serious. Christian Smith, that's a great header from Christian Smith into. But in the process, Charlie Walker's gone down. The guy who scored the 2 goals for Eastbourne Borough today, and again, who is, I have to say, if we're talking about players, best players on the pitch, I would say Charlie Walker with the 2 goals has been brilliant.
Yeah, he's looked good. The 2 Charlies have looked good.
I think
Walker and Kendall.
Yeah,
and, it's the quintet up top. It looked excellent, I think, for Eastbourne. And we keep saying it, but the pace of Eastbourne's counter attack
still now on the
even now.
Minute.
I mean, it's got to be. This is. I'm not just saying it. I've been really impressed with the quality of their attacking play. You almost get the feeling that every time they're going to go forward, they're going to get a chance, and they've got 2 goals
from
already.
Saying about 15 minutes ago that Alan Julian hadn't really had a save to make as such. He's had to do 3 very good saves,
Yeah, exactly. No, he did, and you've got some real good attacking players there, and you've got the 2 guys in the middle of the park.
I think Charlie Walker may have been bloodied. Oh no, he bent down and now he's coming back on. Charlie Walker's back on the pitch.
He's okay, is he?
For Eastbourne Borough fans.
Good.
Less so for Hampton and Richmond Borough fans.
That's
Christian Smith tried to start something there. Hasn't quite worked. And Greg Lure, who's still on the pitch. Well, he's put it out, so I'm glad he's on the pitch on that occasion. But no,
Joel Rollinson came on. Did we say that?
He did come on. Yeah, he came on for Dean Cox. Yeah. Greg Lure.
That's a foul.
Foul on Wilson Carvalho. So Hampton and Richmond Borough really. What are we on now? I think
we've got Rue Donaldson coming on here now.
Rue Donaldson's going to come on, I'm guessing, he's coming on for Wilson Carvalho. Now, if you want to bring a player on with 15 minutes to go to run it.
Well, you've got a light-for-light replacement here coming on. I suspect Rue will slot straight into left midfield position. He's never present this season. Everyone, all your fellow Hampton fans will know Rue's quality. Ex-Stenhouse Muir. Been with Hampton for a couple of seasons now, but got real good energy. Got a great left foot.
Does not stop running.
No, he doesn't. And
he's coming on the right-hand side here. So whether that's because
I suspect. Yeah, I reckon we'll.
So Christian Smith right in front of us here was going to take it, but from instructions from the he was going to take it. And
one of the advantages you get with being no fan, you do get to hear every single instruction that come from both benches. And
let's just say
that was
Can wanted Kyron Farrell to take that free kick with Christian Smith to be in the box, and which I understand why, and because we've seen Christian Smith's threat in the box. Although that didn't look too far. Oh, it's a shame. Rue Donaldson's conceded a free kick with his first action of the game.
No, he definitely,
To be fair, I just said it. Whatever, Kurt. Whatever.
Go on, Kurt. Let's see the comment,
I
Kurt.
think the officials have been pretty good. I think the officials have been pretty good.
They have.
They haven't so far. What you want from the officials is not really to recognise them and not impact the game. That you either have players off, or they shouldn't be sent off, or decisions that lead to goals that shouldn't be made. Then, and I think you can, you hold your hands. We have to remember as well, even at this level, they're the same as the players. They're not full time.
No.
They're part-time.
No, and you're right, because we're the first to complain. Officiating at this level can sometimes be a bit suspect, and it's all we talk about. But this evening has been, to your point.
We mentioned it a few times the other day. Yeah. It's easy for us to sit here and.
That was a foul, and the referee's not given that.
Yeah. Commentator's curse working well there if you're an Eastbourne Borough fan. But anyway, Rue Donaldson on the left-hand side cuts it inside to Kyron Farrell, and Hampton and Richmond Borough have got 15 minutes here to get an equaliser in this game, and maybe more, but they have to get an equaliser first before thinking of anything else. But we also know how dangerous Eastbourne Borough have been on the counter-attack. Razak Coleman's put the ball on the lovely. Rene Steers put the ball in, and it's gone towards Danny Bassett. But that's a great tackle from the number 6, Stephen James. That's a great tackle, and it needed to be. That's a lovely turn from Eastbourne Borough. And now Rui Donaldson's in a running chat, and that's a great tackle. It's not, although he's still got the ball. It's incredible. He's got to pass the ball a bit earlier than that, you would have thought. And
well, that is
I'll be
absolutely
honest,
fantastic.
The referee might have made a decision there.
One
What
thing's
do you
for
think
certain
about
is
how
that
you
Rue did not foul him. Rue did. There's cries from the Eastbourne bench that Rue Donaldson was pulling him back, but from where I was sat, they both had hold of each other's shirts, and Rue just got his foot in at the last ditch and made that tackle.
But if the number 14 Joe Wallison had set the ball through a little bit earlier, then there was 2-on-1 there essentially.
Oh,
but we
absolutely.
allowed a little bit more time for players to come back. But anyway, the corner now, Rui Donaldson. We know how good he is in the air. And Hampton and Richmond Borough. Kyron Farrell has tried to set Nico Muir through, and this is the chance now to keep the ball. But I tell you what, it's good defending from number 6 again, Stephen James. I mean, I don't think any player, I think every player from Eastbourne Borough has been a credit.
They're
we talked about the centre defences
drilled.
a lot, but Stephen James the last two, when it matters as well.
Yeah.
When it matters, they need to be strong. So. Absolutely fair play to Eastbourne Borough, and the ball goes all the way back to the keeper there, off the top of the head. But yes, Eastbourne Borough here with 12 minutes are in the lead, and every single time they go forward, they look dangerous. It has to be said, and they sometimes start attacks from nothing and from the balls in midfield, and it's been an extremely exciting, entertaining game, I have to say. I know Gary joked that Hungerford, I could call Hemel or Hungerford. I know Gary joked that it wasn't the most exciting game on Saturday, but this has been a real good game, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, it has been good. It's been a good game. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted there by
I think
what
Greg
looks like
Lur
a
might actually be
substitution.
coming off
I
this
think
time.
it is.
Greg Lur is definitely coming off this time.
Yeah, Lur's off.
So yeah.
Emmanuel Follerin comes on.
Yeah. I think he's the announcer there. Larry.
Yeah. Follerin on. Lure off for Eastbourne.
No, he hasn't. It's number 16, Leon Gravita.
Oh, has he got the wrong one?
Yeah, but to be fair to Larry, it is the other side, and it is
Gravatar has come on. Sorry. Lure off, Gravatar on.
Yeah. Great name, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Great name.
Leon Gravatar.
Anyway, if you're a Hampton fan, you'll be saying, come on the Beavers. If you're a Eastbourne Borough fan, you'll be saying, hold firm, Borough. But Danny Bassett trying to find some space in the box here, and the ball bobbles around, but again, it's mopped up. Jake Gray with a shot. Deflected, and look at this. Every time they put the ball out there, that's great play from the number 11, Charlie Kendall. And Charlie Walker is on the left-hand side, free as a bird, but Charlie Kendall is going to go all alone, and probably the wrong decision if you're an Eastbourne Borough fan.
Well, Dean Inman has just done an absolutely fantastic block there. Ref's got to do the advantage there. That's extraordinary.
Sam Deadfield is furious, but to be fair, the referee had his back, turned round and... but yeah, I mean...
Can we just go back to that passage of play? What a what a block by Dean Inman. I mean, that's a goal-saving block.
It is. I'd argue that Charlie Kendall was doing too much there when Charlie Walker was free. And if you were on 2 goals and you were completely free like that, you want the blooming ball to come to you, but it didn't. And Hampton and Richmond Borough have needlessly given the ball away by hitting it long and not really effective. But if you have enjoyed the stream tonight, thank you very much for watching, for starters, and persevering with us. Once again, huge credit to Jason, Stuart, and Dave Rees and Archie for the technical side of things and being able so you can see the pictures. Maybe less so from me and Matt to provide the soundtrack for it, but if you can and want to donate, then head towards hrbfc.live, and there's a donation page on there, and we will put all the money towards the stream so we can keep on doing it for free and making it even better. And Danny Bassett looked like he might get the ball, but I tell you what, once again it's the number 6, Stephen James for Eastbourne Borough, who's looked dangerous, has done the job. And I tell you what, they're doing it again. They get the ball from the centre of defence up to the top, and then the midfield come and join them, and then I know we've mocked it up there, but they stretch.
They do. They really do. We sound like a bit of a stuck record when we say this, but their counter-attacking play has been fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, as a director of the Dean Inman's been taken down there. As a director of the football club, I'm not allowed to bet, and of course, I wouldn't. But if I was a betting man, I would be having a look at Eastbourne Borough's odds. If I'm honest, I've been extremely impressed with them, I have to say.
Yeah, they've looked good.
They have looked good. They have looked good. And I imagine this sort of tactic and this sort of play will do very well, you know, longer term and away at big clubs. Oh, Karen Farrell went for the ball, and the keeper hasn't blown though. The referee has not blown for a foul on the keeper there. The keeper will be receiving some attention now.
Yeah, he looked.
It was a little bit late from Kyron, but that's the line. How long left, Liner? 8 minutes.
8 to go.
8 to go. This is it again with no fans here. You wouldn't be able to hear us. You know, he's told us how long's left. So thanks very much. 8 minutes according to the linesman who stood in front of us and done very well this game.
Very well. Great. Yeah, great linesman.
Good commentators. There you are, Steve. But yeah, we are.
Cries from James Hammond there. Come on, keep going to the end.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, these guys they've got grit and determination in the.
And that's,
in amongst the ranks.
What I've seen here is what I saw a lot of Hampton and Richmond towards the end of last season.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, just from a Hampton Richmond perspective, not quite enough as what we've seen this season. We've obviously not got going. You know, I think that's obvious. You know,
yeah.
We could.
I'd agree with that.
I don't. You know, Gary's mentioned it in his pre. You know, I'm not speaking out of turn there.
There's been a couple of quiet.
Luke Ruddock's going to come on for Christian Smith. So Luke Ruddock's going to have the last 7 minutes. Maybe Dean Inman's going to stay up front. At the moment.
Yeah, Smith off.
So Dean Inman is going to stay up front. So the looks of it.
Smith off. Yeah. So Smith off. Ruddock on. Dean Inman up top with flanked by Bassett and
Rene. So we've got Rene Steer is going to play. I think we might have a back three here then. A Rene Steer.
Yeah.
At the moment, it looks like
Steer, Ruddock and Donaldson.
Well, no, I think that's just for the set pieces. But yes, we'll soon find out. I mean, he stood on his foot, but the referee's not agreeing. Rui Donaldson kicks the ball long, but again, it's well dealt with by the number 6 from Eastbourne Borough. I've said that a few times in the last few minutes. And Karen Farrell's feeling the pain here in front of us. And it's a free kick to Hampton and Richmond Borough. And while we're waiting for that, yeah, Karen Farrell's still down in front of us, but he has got up now. But anyway, everyone in the box, not everyone in the box, sorry, most of the Hampton and Richmond Borough players are in the box. Sam Deadfield's going to hit one long here. It needs to be important. If you're a Hampton and Richmond Borough fan, so they heads it back towards Dean Inman, and that's why he's up there, but it just goes straight out for a goal kick. And but yes, it looks so. What are we on? Maybe a couple of minutes, maybe. But at the moment, Eastbourne Borough are going to be taken away. As it stands, Eastbourne Borough are taking the 3 points away from the Bev here tonight, which will be a big disappointment if you're a Hampton Richmond Borough fan. Obviously not if you're an Eastbourne Borough fan. And at the moment, they've come out on top, or coming out on top. But who knows what can happen in the next few minutes? I certainly wouldn't bet against either team scoring. Let's be brutally honest. Eastbourne look like they're. You know, great header from Luke Ruddock. First contribution of the game, and a superb header. Yeah. Sam Deadfield sets Razak Coleman's free, but it's well. Oh no, it isn't well defended, and this is a real chance here. Razak Coleman tries to lay the ball back to Nico Muir, but doesn't succeed, and that was a real chance, and it wasn't one that we took.
Yeah, no, that was. We've got to do better than that.
You've got to find someone there, I imagine. But it's as good as that might be a block, you've got to find Nico Muir. Yeah, you've got to. But anyway, Hampton and Richmond Borough still with the ball. Sam Deadfield's done extremely well there. He's going to try and get the ball into the box. Oh, he wasn't. And look at this. They find that man again. They were pleading for a foul, but he's not. Play on. Luke Ruddock. Deep ball towards his usual second defensive partner, Dean Inman. But guess what? Eastbourne have picked the ball up in midfield again, and they've started the attack again. And I have to say, it's been a feature of their whole game, and they've been excellent doing that. And
they have.
And Charlie,
it's good defending. And there's some afters there.
I think it felt a bit unnecessary that.
I must admit, Seb, I couldn't quite see what happened there. I mean, I saw the Eastbourne player on the ground.
Players on the ground, and I think Luke was doing that thing where players do, where they try and get players out, they're not that sort of thing. But maybe more forcefully than perhaps he should have done. Yeah, and Luke Ruddock's getting a talking to here, and Luke Ruddock's getting a stern talking to. He might even get a yellow card here, but and the Eastbourne Borough players on the ground. And what the only thing that will happen here is the time drags on, and it's Hampton and Richmond, but and his reaction gets a yellow card from Luke Ruddock, and he's still down. And so the only thing this will really do is the timing. It will time. This is exactly what if you're waiting and you're 2-1 up. This is exactly the sort of thing that you want to happen. So.
It was unnecessary. Whatever was going on there. I mean, this could have. This has been yeah, he's in a bit of pain there, Seb.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shouting from the other side. I think the Eastbourne Borough directors are over on that side, and they were. Let's just say they weren't happy with what went on there, and whatever,
It was difficult to see from where we are.
Well, we couldn't see. So yeah, I didn't mean it in whatever. I'm not trying to talk it off. What I'm saying is, I couldn't see it. So yeah, they were closer than me. They weren't very happy, and the referee's given them a yellow card, and it looks like Eastbourne Borough are going to have to make a substitution as a result of that, and we'll go from here. And they're making a substitution now. Yeah. But no, I reckon we've only got a couple more minutes of it at normal time. We'll probably have another 2 minutes maybe. But Hampton and Richmond Borough need to find something here to get an equaliser and take it back to 2-2. Yeah. And we sound a bit despondent, I think, because we are naturally, because we are Hampton and Richmond Borough fans, and we tried to be impartial commentary. I hope we've captured that, because I think we've been extremely complimentary, and rightly so, of Eastbourne Borough. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
I think if they do end up taking the 3 points here, this would be a job very, very, very well done by a very, very good team, I have to say. And I'll be certainly keeping an eye on their progression over the course of this season. But yes, who knows? Who knows what will happen in the next few minutes? Nico Muir on the edge of the box sets Razak Coleman free, who then tries to find Dean Inman, but it's well defended by the number 3 again, Kai Woolard Innocent, who's played extremely well, the young lad from QPR, I think. Number 15 has come on for number 11, Charlie Kendall. But anyway, Razak Coleman trying to find Nico Muir, but and the ball's bobbing about. Dean Emmons has a shot, and it's well saved, and that looked like it might. Oh, there's still a bit more time, but I think that might be the final real chance for the Beavers, and we might make it over 500 before the end of this. Thank you very, very much for listening. Watching and listening. HRBFC.live if you do want to donate, and we will put the money straight towards equipment and making this future streams even better. I know that might, if you're an Eastbourne fan, you might think, but you were a visit. Yeah,
Nico Muir over here.
Anyway, Nico Muir crosses the ball towards Andy Bassett, and he's right in front of the goal, and he's glazed it over. That was I said it. I thought Dean Inman's chance was the final chance. That was a chance.
Oh, Bassett's got to score.
Well, he's got to hit the target.
I think he's got to score that, Seb. Yeah. I mean, in real time, that looked like he's got to just get on the end of that and bury it.
Great play from Nico Muir, that, isn't it? Nico Muir's done extremely well. I think there might be some. There's 7 minutes of injury time.
7 minutes.
And what I will say is, Eastbourne Borough haven't.
7 minutes to play. There you go.
I don't think agree that it should be 7 minutes. I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised, but those minutes are the minutes that decided to play.
I'd have guessed at about 4.
Yeah, I would. Yes, but anyway, Dean Inman, who's playing this in the last 10 minutes, is playing the role as centre forward, shall we say, and probably looked like it might have been an elbow in the back, not an elbow, sorry, a nudge in the back of the head. But anyway, Nico Muir's going to be through on goal, and that's great play from Nico Muir. He's being tugged, it looks like it, but that's great skill from Nico Muir. Danny Bassett. Oh, and Kyron Farrell snatched at the chance. I mean, Nico Muir has done fantastically well there. There's a chance being created, but we snatched at it.
Yeah, no.
Snatched at it, and that is what...
Muir showing his quality. His strength.
There is 7 minutes injury time. I've seen a few comments. There's definitely 7 minutes.
7 minutes of injury
went
time,
up on the board, and Eastbourne Borough. I mean, Karen Farrell's got to hit the target.
I guess Minas was injured. There's been a fair few substitutions as well.
There have been a lot of stoppages this half day, he says. But yes, either way, Eastbourne weren't happy, and but it is what it is. And Gary was probably happy that we had that amount of time. And I keep saying that we've had the last throw of the dice from Hampton and Richmond Borough. Maybe there's still time for one more. But it's been a very entertaining game, and absolutely full credit to Eastbourne Borough for this. If they do see this out, but if Hampton and Richmond Borough do snatch a point, from the jaws of defeat, then obviously we'll be very happy. But time is rapidly running out.
It is, and if you're an Eastbourne fan and that does happen, I mean,
Eastbourne Borough doing what every away team does when they're 2-1 up. They're taking time with the throw-ins. We would do exactly the same if we were in the same position. I always find that strange. That Anyway, I reckon. Well, if we've got 7 minutes of injury time, technically we started the timer. There's still 40 minutes and 49 seconds left.
Yeah.
So there's at least 4 minutes left here, and that's enough time for Hampton and Richmond Borough to create a chance and take it. But that's a great header.
Was that Ferry again?
6. No, that was number 6. Stephen James.
Stephen James. He's
brilliant.
He's been a rock at the back, hasn't he?
Eastbourne Borough. I think Matt. Let's pick. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I thought it was lovely control, but it's good tackle, to be fair. Matt, if you had to pick a man of the match, I think I would probably, if you had to, from both teams, I would pick Charlie Walker. I think he's been brilliant. He scored 2 great goals as well, and he's created those 2 goals on both occasions.
He's played well.
I think if you're a Hampton Richmond Borough persuasion, I don't think anyone has impressed me more than Nathan Minas. Again, I'll be honest, I think we've Nico Muir's looked live here, but not quite firing on as well as he can. But yeah, I would say Nathan, and Dean Inman's been brilliant at the back until he's been playing up front for the last last few minutes.
Yeah, it's the two number 4s for me. Dean Inman for Hampton, and I think that James Ferry
has been brilliant.
Nothing has got past Ferry. He's been strong in the tackle. He's won headers. He's looked very, very good in.
But there's still time if Hampton and Richmond Borough, and it's gone out for throwing right in front of us, and who knows what will happen in the remaining 3 minutes. We still think there's 3 minutes left of this game. And Dean Nimman in his attacker role, the ball's still live, but it's good heading by Eastbourne Borough. A bit of ping pong in the box. The ball's cleared, and it's cleared only as far in this occasion to Charlie. Well played, isn't it? Yeah, man of the match, and for his goal scoring, but also his hold-up play and his link-up play has been fantastic. But here we go. The ball's kicked long and forward. Right, so Hampton and Richmond Borough have got a throw in here with, I would say, 2 minutes left. There's no point just... we were taking it too quickly and throwing it straight to one of their players. But Alan Julian, ball back with Alan Julian. We've probably got 90 seconds of this game left. Is there one more chance for Hampton and Richmond Borough here? Rui Donaldson has put the ball in the mixer. Oh, and it's gone behind for a corner. Now's a real chance. This is what we were saying.
Yeah, this is it. I think Alan Julian's up, Seb.
Alan Julian is going to go up for this. Someone jokingly said earlier on that it's about if Alan Julian scores, I'll give him £100 or something like that. Something along social media. But Alan Julian's going to be in the box here in full yellow. Our corners have been.
You definitely can't miss him.
No, you certainly can. And let's hope the corner doesn't miss him or. In his direction. Kyron Farrell with the corner. Quite close to the keeper, and that's well claimed, but he drops it. But only drops it back into his hands. And that's frustrating.
Yeah, that's the last place you want to put it.
I mean, he's been
down the keeper's throat.
Again, we're talking about good players. Eastbourne Borough keeper's been brilliant. Made 3 great saves.
Yeah,
he's had to claim it.
Yeah.
And that is number 6. You might have heard Stephen James encouraging his team to the very end.
The referee. This has got to be the last throw of the dice.
It's got to be. I keep saying it, but we will run out of dices.
Yeah, we.
Dices or dice? Sorry, dice. But die. Yeah. Anyway.
Julian with the free kick for Hampton.
But yeah, thank you very much for listening. And if you do want to donate, promise you we won't be spending it on beer. We'll be spending it on equipment that will make this thing even better. Anyway, the ball goes into the water box, but it won't. I can say that's full time. That's it. Full time whistle. Eastbourne Borough have won this game 2-1 in the battle of the boroughs, and fair play to them. I have to say, even with my red and blue tinted glasses, I think they've been the better team, Matt.
Yep, best team won tonight. Fair play to Eastbourne. Very entertaining game. I think that it boils down to two things. They bossed the midfield and they were clinical in attack.
They were clinical in attack.
Clinical in attack was
yeah.
I mean,
there's no doubt about it.
Hampton had their moments, and if we were more clinical in certain points of the game, then maybe it would have been. We could have salvaged a draw, but sometimes in football you just got to hold your hands up, and I think the best team won.
The best, I would say that. I think Gary will probably. We definitely had our chances. That will frustrate Gary, and I think you want to see a bit more, but. Positives for the Hampton and Richmond Borough. We scored a goal, so we're not in that awful.
We're not in that awful
stat.
Thanks for whoever mentioned that.
Positives, I would say again, the Nathan Minas performance. The negative on that fact that he came off injured, which was. But yes, well played, Eastbourne Borough. Thank you very much for listening in, and it was. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope we provided an impartial and fun commentary. There's no point us just saying people's names and you just looking and watching the screen. We try and have a bit of fun here, and the chat's good as well, so thanks very much for your questions and stuff like that. And if you want to, I will do it one more time. If you want to donate, hrbfclive.com. But Matt, disappointing from a Hampton and Richmond Borough perspective, but a good game of football, and Hampton and Richmond Borough will have to go again against Oxford City on Saturday.
Yeah, and that's not an easy game either.
Oh, God,
I mean, they're a team in form as well, Oxford. Well, there is no easy games at this level. Anybody would say that. But it's disappointing for Hampton. I mean, with 3 games in now, 1 point, one draw, 2 losses. It's not the best of starts, and I think that once again, I suspect that Gary will be disappointed with the. We're not firing up top. We're not. Nico Muir looked good today. He shows his strength is solid, but we're just not as. If you look at, compare Eastbourne's attacking tonight and how every attack that they made tonight, they looked like there was going to be something that's going to happen at the end of it. And with Hampton, it just felt to me that there was too many attacks where it just effectively sort of petered out, and we just didn't quite look as potent as we should do for a team of the quality of Hampton. If you look at some of our players. Yeah,
and I think I know, we sound despondent, but we are from the Hampton and Richmond Borough perspective. But you can see the two teams now getting their post-match thoughts from their managers. I think their manager, I think they'll also have different perspectives. But I've got to say, thank you very much for joining us, and Matt, thank you very much for
pleasure.
And thanks very much for Archie.
We even get a round of applause, see, from the opposition there.
Archie was fantastic on the camera work, and Jason and Dave have been brilliant as well, and it was really appreciated. But thank you very much, and head to HRBFC Live and donate there. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Thanks everybody. Thanks for listening.